Second chances don't come often.
Bristol Aztecs, the national reigning champions, come out on top.
The Wembley Stallions feel like there's unfinished business with the Aztecs.
Who felt like they were winning the second half? Who looked like they were winning the whole game in that second half? The Aztec sideline looked pretty glum at some points.
Bristol is looking to sweep the regular season matchup and stay undefeated.
Signal touchdown, Aztecs.
One team will walk away victorious, the other, the agony of defeat. The reigning Brit Bowl champion Bristol Aztecs take on the fiery Wembley Stallions in an epic rematch at Shaftesbury Park on Saturday, July 18th at 4 p.m.
Good afternoon and welcome back to Shaftesbury Park with me, Katie Hoch. We are about to witness the Bristol Aztecs take on the Wembley Stallions for the second time in the 2026 BAFA Premiership. Joining me on the sidelines today is the fantastic in-stream commentator Andrew Morgan and the brilliant Craig McLeod, the host of the Bristol Aztecs podcast. Shortly on your screen, you will be seeing the form guide for how the teams are stacking up this season. Bristol, of course, remain undefeated. Now, Wembley statistically are playing the best football of the Premiership so far for them, with a win against the Cats and a draw against the Knights most recently. Now, Andrew, Wembley haven't lost a game of late. How do you think it feels to be a team that is finding their identity a little bit later in the season? And does that pose a different threat to the Aztecs today?
I think so, yeah. I think it's the unknown because they don't have anything to play for in terms of the playoffs. We know that they're out of contention in that respect, but they would love nothing better than to play an upset today. And as you said, their results have started to come through. We spoke with head coach Warren Smart in the week. He's seeing the development of his team, some rookies who have come in and really starting to play well. So for these guys today, it's a chance to show out and have some fun.
Definitely have some fun. And, you know, the South Premiership has been secured by the Aztecs already after that matchup against the Cambridgeshire Cats. How do you think they keep their foot on the gas today?
Well, speaking to both coordinators and Pete Jones in the week, both offence and defence have got targets. The defence, Coach Wilf has talked about not letting any more scores in, and Pete Jones has been really firm in saying we want to push on and progress all the way up to the playoffs at the end of August. So for them, it's about continuing on their trajectory to try and repeat.
It definitely is. Now, Craig, Ethan Gretzinger, starting quarterback for the Aztecs, was not available during that May matchup against the Stallions earlier on in the season. With him available and starting today as quarterback, how do you envision those RPOs will differ from the last game?
Oh, I mean, it's going to change drastically because you've got a quarterback in there with just such huge experience across multiple, different levels of play, and that means he's going to be able to read the defense a little bit differently. But I mean, it's not only going to just be how Ethan adjusts, it's going to be how the Wembley defense adjusts as well. They've now got a different player with a different mindset that could really shift the focus on what they're looking to do today.
Thank you very much. Thanks. Earlier last week, it was the British American Football Association coaching convention, and one of our players, T. Ojua, he spoke and delivered a O&D line troubleshooting session. I sat down with him earlier in the week to discuss his plans after the end of this season. Take a look.
You see a world where you would just be fully coaching rather than balancing coaching and playing. Yeah, talk to me about that.
1,000%. I mean, it's a kind of a running joke. I think I've tried to retire 3 or 4 times, all unsuccessfully. I said I was retired after we won the championship last year, and then let's just say I saw the jerseys and I was like, okay, we can probably manage one more year. But yeah, I think it's definitely what I would want to do, and I think if I'm being completely honest, and honestly this time, Katie, I'm not just saying it. I think this has got to be my last season, only because I think that there are younger players who need an opportunity to kind of take, to take the reps that I'm taking. And it's not to say that I don't have something to offer and I couldn't still be, the best available option. But I think that the preparation that it takes to kind of be a player at a high enough level is something that after this year, I don't see myself being willing to do. I'd much rather put that time into, and I already put loads of hours into coaching, but I'd much rather do that and it's playing for as long as I have. Like, it's painful. It's obviously taxing on the body and all this kind of stuff. I think doing both is is difficult just because one part doesn't, like, there isn't really a break. So I go from being like kind of mentally taxed in the winter to physically taxed in the summer to mentally taxed in the winter to physically taxed in the summer. So potentially, you know, taking at least a little bit of time off, or just saying that, you know, you're just coaching. So I'm not going to be a defensive coordinator necessarily in two places. I can be a DC in the winter and then kind of like a D-line coach in the summer, or doing some sort of like quality control or analysis. So yeah, there is definitely a world in which we separate the two, and I think that world is coming soon. So I think, yeah, after this season, it'll probably be my fifth or my fourth attempt at retirement, and I think that one will stick.
I am now really pleased to be joined by offensive coordinator Rhian Hudson, who was one of the recipients of the awards presented at the coaching convention. Rhian, thank you for your time today. You won the Futures Coach of the Year award. Tell us a little bit about what that means to you.
I mean, I think it's cool for me individually, but I think the biggest thing about that award is I think it's representative of the people around me, the support I get. You know, Jack, Lyde, and Pete, they've been here since I've been OC and just continue to support me, continue to help me grow, continue to help me develop. And really, I know it's like my award, but I think it's really an award for everyone around me and shows how much love they put into me.
Definitely. Now, you have had consistent offense big plays throughout the season. What's your fundamental coaching philosophy?
I think it's just do what your guys do well. I think it's a really empowering thing when you are in a system or you're in an environment where your strengths are constantly trying to be highlighted and accentuated. I think it's, you know, if you think about like, hey, if a fish is being asked to climb a tree, probably not going to be really cool. If you ask them to swim, it's going to be really cool, right? So that's kind of how I think of it. Just do what you guys do well. And we're really fortunate we have an endless amount of incredible players that make my job a lot easier.
And how does that translate into mentality with your players? Because now the South Premiership has been secured by the Aztecs. Does that change things for you?
I don't think it changes where we are, because we're just trying to still get better for the people around us, right? Like, I think it's a really fortunate thing for us. We all have so many close relationships in the team, and it's like, you know, you're at your best when you're surrounded by people that you love so much you don't want to let them down, right? And I think everybody would have like a list of 1 billion people on the team that, like, hey, for me, like, individuals, like, team success would be cool for me as an individual, but I want it for other people. Like when we beat the Warriors in the final last year, I wanted it for Tom Levick more than I wanted it for myself. That's how I view that.
It's amazing teamwork, isn't it? All about that.
Everybody has a part to play. Everybody knows their role. We're just trying to grow together. It's a really beautiful thing where you're constantly around people who want you to be better.
And speaking of growth, we had our Meet VP in the game away against the Cambridgeshire Cats. Now, just for those of you at home who aren't familiar with the setup we have with the Bristol Aztecs, we have a partnership, a brilliant partnership with the new Manor Farm shop, where each MVP is gifted a £50 butcher's gift basket. Now, Eza El Nagmi was the recipient of that Meet VP packet. Now, tell me about his performance.
Yeah, I mean, when you have an O-line of that size who plays with such a violence and tenacity that he does, it's a really difficult thing for defense to deal with. So it makes my job really easy when he's going to go out there and just flatten somebody, because he loves doing that to, you know, highlight his teammates' strengths. That's pretty cool to have on our team.
It definitely is. Thank you for your time, Rhian. Enjoy the day. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Good luck, guys.
And here is Andrew and Craig with those O&D starters.
Thank you very much, Katie. Good afternoon, everybody. And football might not be coming home, but the Bristol Aztecs have returned home to Shaftesbury Park this afternoon for their return fixture versus the Wembley Stallions in the BAFA Premiership South Division. First outing of these two teams was definitely a competitive affair, with Wembley finding their feet in the second half and giving the Aztecs a run for their money. Today, both teams are on the final approach to the end of their seasons. Wembley solidifying their position in their first year in the Premiership, and Bristol trying to keep the momentum going on both sides of the ball as they head towards the playoffs. Today, I'm joined in the booth by Craig McLeod, a man of many talents and achievements. Not only a wizard on the PA at Shaftesbury Park, but also a former GB youth player, wrestler, and touring comedian, no less. Craig, it's an absolute delight to have you on the calls here today. How do you feel handing over the ones and twos and coming into the commentary booth?
Oh, it feels great to be joining you up here, Andrew.
you know, watching the streams back after you guys have been up here, the away games, it's been fun watching and to be a part of this. I'm excited. Obviously, I'm seeing the game from a different angle here. I can call out what I'm saying rather than just calling first downs and distances. So yeah, looking forward to have some fun and seeing what both teams can achieve.
And let's not forget, you also got a penalty at one point during the Belfast game for being a little bit too loud before the offense snapped the ball, if I remember correctly.
I mean, you know, these things happen, and everybody loves a bad boy, don't they? So
that's it. That's what I tell my girlfriend all the time. So let us move on to the Bristol Aztecs starters, and we will start with Rian Hudson's offense, who are going to be taking the field here today. It is a pretty much unchanged lineup for the Bristol Aztecs on offense, with that big four of Ethan Gretzinger, Josh Brees, Quinton Wimmer, and Sam East from across the pond, bringing the offensive output. It's an unchanged offensive line as well, bringing that solidity. And of course, who can forget the Meet VP, Ezet Agnami. Look for him in the number 68 jersey as he looks to try and put a few more blocks on the field today. And then when we move over to defense, a couple of changes for the Aztecs. Xavier Cabral de Almada moves over to the AFLE. His spot is going to be taken by Chris Arena. And then on defense, Van Tresanis comes in to start at defensive tackle. So Craig, there's a lot of consistency now that we're into the back end of the season. It's something that breeds a lot of comfort and continuity, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, you want continuity, you want that comfort, especially as we start to go into the playoffs. There's a lot of exciting things here for both sides of the ball. I mean, going back to the defense, seeing Adrissa's name on there is fantastic. Obviously, suffered a little bit of an injury, so seeing him on the field now as we enter those final couple of games for the playoffs, as a captain, as a veteran of this team, everybody that's involved is going to give this defense a boost, and obviously we know the offense can put up points.
So both teams are going through their final warm-ups, and we're going to send it down to Katie on the sideline. She's got the Wembley Stallions head coach, Warren Smart. Katie, over to you.
Here with Warren Smart, head coach for the Wembley Stallions. Thank you so much for your time, Warren. How are you doing today?
Yeah, very good, thank you.
Now, how has the mentality as part of the Stallions transformed over the season? Because it seems like the Stallions are playing the best football of their season so far at the moment.
No, it's an improvement. Every week is an improvement. We struggled a little bit in the early days to go with the pace, but that soon changed. The guys are really picking up on it. We're now competitive in patches of games, and now all we've got to do is turn it to be, competitive throughout the whole game, control the scoreboard by the end of it.
Definitely. Now, talking about it being competitive, Bristol's offence have been consistently delivering big plays. What is the number one key to matching that today?
Sticking with what we're trying. We've watched film. We know what the offence is trying to achieve. We've worked out how we think we can break that down. Just play some good fundamental football. Make sure that we make the tackles when they need to be made. There's some big running backs down here, but we've said if they haven't got legs, they can't run. So that's the key to it.
I like that attitude a lot. That's very good, very competitive. Now, the end zone was found in May. What did you learn in that matchup that you're bringing with you today?
The first game was very much a game of the first half we were like deer in the headlights. The second half we just made a couple of adjustments, told the guys to relax and breathe, execute the plays as we practiced, and that's what we did. And we put points on the board. That was the first time the Aztecs had chipped any points. I'm hoping we can do it again today.
Coach Warren, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
Good luck. Take care. And I'm also joined here by Pete Jones, Aztecs head coach and recipient of not one, but 2 awards at the BAFA Coaching Convention. Fitzpatrick's Coach's Coach of the Year and Coach of the Year. Yeah. Congratulations. How did it feel to win those accolades?
Yeah, very good. Thank you very much. The Anthony Fitzpatrick Coach of the Year thing's really nice. I knew him. He was a good guy. So nice to have won that the first year it's been named after him. But always good to be kind of recognised for doing good work,
Definitely. Now, what has been the key message for your squad in the locker room today? Because that South Premiership has been secured by your team. So how do you keep that momentum going?
Yeah, I mean, obviously we've got the playoffs coming down the track now, and all year we've kind of spoken about the playoffs are a long way away, and we've got lots of work to do, and we've got to get better every week. But they're really, it's quite close now, and the team we put out at Cambridge for the last regular season game in a couple of weeks, that probably is going to look an awful lot like the team that will start in the playoff game. So today really is a last opportunity for some guys to kind of make their case to be in that starting group, or to make a case that they should be in that starting group, you know. So there's a lot of guys on our team that have got quite a lot to play for today.
And speaking of today, what challenges do the Wembley Stallions pose for your guys?
They've got some great players, right? They've got a handful of players on both sides of the ball that could start on any team in this league. And if they have big days, and you know, our guys that are playing up against them struggle a little bit, they've definitely got a kind of a sting in their tail potentially. And also, you know, like Warren was just saying, they've been adjusting to the level. I feel like they've adjusted to the level now, and there's really no pressure on them, not a lot of expectation, so they can just come out, play freely, you know, good venue, good game day. They'll be looking forward to all that kind of stuff. You know, Warren's always got them kind of lined up, pointing in the right direction, and I expect them to come out, you know, trying to play some good football and trying to upset us, you know.
Definitely. Now, let's talk about that match-up in May, because Wembley Stallions did score 20 points. Of course, the Aztecs did win with 52, but what has been the biggest transformation in practice, in training since then, to make sure that they don't get anything on the scoreboard?
Yeah, I mean, we're definitely, we're just kind of better across the park compared to what we were then. You know, on offense, we were a little bit sloppy that day. One of them was a pick six, and I think the other one was as good as, you know, the offense gave them the ball right in the red zone. So yeah, there was a couple of big mistakes on offense that put us in that spot. They did have one really good drive against us where they scored, where we were kind of mixing personnel up and that kind of thing. And you know, like, it's the league will see some people will see some one-sided scores in the league, yeah, but everyone's starters against our kind of our units when we've got fringe guys on, it will be competitive, you know. So, but it's important that we still get everyone game time and try and develop everyone. So, you know, they will have opportunities today. It's the important thing for us is to come out firing, start fast, play hard, and just put some good football on film, you know.
We can't wait to watch. Pete, thank you very much for your time, and congratulations again. Thank you.
Thank you.
So, Andrew, Craig, can you hear me?
Loud and clear, Katie, loud and clear. We're up here. It's a little bit of a sweatbox here in the commentary booth, but we are ready and raring to go.
It really is very hot today on the field, and there's no escape from the heat today, and I really think that these guys on the field will be feeling the heat too, and I'm not just talking about the temperature. Now, the Wembley Stallions, they are back with unfinished business, I'm sure that they do feel, and they've been playing ball on social media as well. Now, we also have a conversation that we had with DC James Wilf earlier on in the week about not having the Aztecs let the Wembley Stallions score. Now, do we think that's achievable if players are being rotated in that second half?
I think so, yeah. It was an interesting conversation because at the start of the third quarter, we take it back to Cambridge 2 weeks ago, quite a lot of the starters were in. Cambridge were able to put some things together, move down the field, and we saw on the sideline that Coach Pete Jones had to have a little bit of a stern word with them as they came off the field. So there is a gauntlet that's laid down. Yes, we know what the starters can do, the turnovers, the interceptions, the big plays, but those guys lower down the depth chart are being given a lot of opportunities to show up when they get those chances.
They definitely are, and we have had some injuries, unfortunately, in the Aztec side over the course of the last couple of games. So there's been quite a lot of switching up with the starters. When you spoke to Wilf earlier on in the week, how confident was he feeling about that?
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, when you're looking at the defensive starters, you're gonna have injuries. These things happen, and as you enter the playoffs, you enter the meat of the season, you're gonna have players that might not have the experience that you want from the starters, and these games where they get to start are so important, and Wilf knows that, and this is a big opportunity for the players individually, but the unit as a whole.
Definitely. Well, Craig, Andrew, I'll pass it on back to you. Let's enjoy the first half.
Thank you very much indeed. So whilst we've got a couple of minutes, all the players have headed into the tunnel for their official entrances. We can have a little bit of a look at those offensive stats for the Aztecs, and it really does give us a chance to show how dominant they've been in the regular season in terms of the points that have been put up and the yards and the touchdowns that have been scored as a result. So as you can see, Oh, we'll go with the defense first. Craig, Tom's keeping us guessing there in the booth. So let's talk about the defense, and it's the total points, I think, which is the number that strikes me the first. What kind of stands out to you there?
Yeah, I mean, it's been highlighted for a reason, right? 48 points allowed, absolutely incredible from this defense. But knowing Wilf, knowing the rest of the defense, they won't be happy with that. They're going up against a team that put 20 of those up. They're going to want to make sure that stays at 48 today.
And when you've had 6 games and it's a plus 16 turnover margin, you don't need to be a statistician of the game to know that that is something that is very nice to have. And so if I'm correct, we're going to move on now to the offensive stats. Thank you very much there, Tom. And as you can see, the numbers just jump off the screen. 442 total yards per game for the Aztecs, and that averages out, Craig, at 7.9 yards a clip.
Yeah, I mean, when you're putting up nearly a first down after every single play, that's an offense in a flow state. You know, you're looking at a team here that even when they face a bit of adversity, maybe get a tackle for a loss, things like that, they're still able to put up the yards needed for that first down and show that offensive dominance across the passing and the rushing game.
We're going to be having a little bit of a segment at the end of the first quarter, looking at these yards and looking at how they compare to the statistical leaders across the league, not just in the South. So Katie will be bringing us those stats at the end of the first and the third quarter. And just touching back on where Katie was with her conversation with Pete Jones, a lot of success for the Aztecs at the Coaches Award last weekend.
Yeah, they did fantastically well. I mean, we see it here, we see it in the results. They're a team that are playing fantastically well. I mean, we are high up in the booth, but they're flying even higher with what they're achieving at the moment, and that's from the ground all the way up, you know, reeing in their Futures Award, overall Coaches Award. It's fantastic to see, and it shows that those results are appreciated despite what you might see online.
So as the Wembley Stallions take to the field, it gives us a chance to have a little bit of a conversation about them as well. A really nice and informative conversation with Warren Smart in the lead up to the game. He's both the head coach and the offensive coordinator. And it was interesting how he talked about how in previous years, the Wembley Stallions were almost a starting post for London talent. They were a Division 1 team, so players would come to the Stallions and then piggyback off either to the Blitz or to the Warriors, whereas now as a strong team in the Premiership, they can now hold on to their talent.
Yeah, and they're showing it with the results as well. It's one thing to get to the Premiership, it's another thing to stay there and to be able to produce results. Those things will start to come, and like you say, instead of losing players to the teams that maybe are more inclined to win, Wembley Stallions are that plucky underdog team that will be able to keep talent about to start maybe challenging for that Premiership title down the road.
And we talked about that talent. Oh, they have 3 players on the GB development team. Jordan Davis, the starting left tackle, being one of them. And something that Coach Smart talked about as well was how he was trying to create QBU down at Wembley. 4 QBs on the roster. One of those QBs, Henry Flint, coming over from Rushmore earlier in the year. And he really sees it as a place where quarterbacks can come and develop.
Yeah, and the thing is, if you've got quarterbacks developing, you're going to have other positions developing as well. If you've got a good quarterback camp there, you're going to have good offensive linemen to protect those quarterbacks. You're going to produce better wide receivers because they're catching passes off of a team and players that are really producing. It's great stuff they're doing there.
So Chris Green and Rashid Sekiro Gaima leading the team onto the field to the tones of Metallica. Not a bad opening song to have there, Craig.
No, something a bit heavier. It might be how the team are feeling, maybe a bit darker, something to prove. You know, they're undefeated at the moment and they've already won the Premiership South. They've secured their playoff spot, the home playoff game. This is where they need to dig deep to prove that they can still produce when things might not matter to the outside world.
Absolutely. So we are moments away now from the kickoff as the Aztecs have their tunnel of handshakes and crisp high fives down at the middle of the field. It gives us a chance to introduce our officials for the day. Jed Brooks Lewis will be our referee in the white hat.
Frank Issa Barroso is the umpire. Roger Brown, our head linesman. Scott Castle, our line judge. Ewan Patterson, back judge. Ben Gadsby, the field judge. And then Keith Wickham bringing up the crew as the side judge. We also have a member of the BAFA team in the van with Tom. He's going to be helping out with the clock and giving us accurate timings throughout the game, which has been a really nice thing to add on to our stream commentary and production for all of the Bristol Aztecs games.
Yeah, it's always nice to know where we're at in a game so we don't get surprised by halftime or a quarter or anything like that. So, and always seeing, you know, a full ref crew as well, doing what they can do to make sure this game runs as smoothly as possible.
So it's going to be taken down to the coin toss. The captains for the Wembley Stallions will be Aaron Greenwich, Ted Watts, Martin Dramina, and Fidel Johnson. Those are the 4 captains for the Wembley Stallions. And on the Bristol Aztecs side, it's going to be Ryan Davis, Josh Brees, Eddie Onamade, and Chris Green, who will be out in the middle for the coin toss.
Yeah, a good group of players on both sides. Both definitely represent their team well, deserve to be out there for the coin toss. Always interesting to see what the team that wins the coin toss will do. We'll see who's going to be on offense, who's going to be on defense, and get this game started any moment now. As they start going through the handshakes, it's a lot of fun to see how they interact, to see
gentlemen. This is
how they're feeling,
the
joking around, ready for the day.
Heads.
As we go to the referee.
Shield. Tails. Tails. Wembley, you're the away team. You'll call the toss. What would you like? Heads. Heads is our call. It is tails. Bristol, you've won the toss. I believe you want to defer. So you want the ball. Which way would you like to kick? You want to kick that way, so face the way you're going to be going. Wembley have the first half option and have elected to receive the opening kickoff.
So Wembley want to get this game off and running. They want to put points on the board and assert their dominance, and will be starting on offense. And it's going to be a chance for us to see that Bristol Aztecs defense and the gauntlet that's been laid down by defensive coordinator James Wilford. No points until the playoffs. That is the goal.
Oh, I'm sure behind the scenes the goal is no points even in the playoffs, but obviously you've got to take it one game at a time. You know, I have the pleasure of hosting the Bristol Aztecs podcast, and one thing that they always say is every game is one game at a time, and they're going to be doing that today. No points for the rest of the season, but first and foremost, no points on this drive.
Absolutely, Wembley Stallions down in front of us, getting themselves G'd up. There's a lot of jumping, there's a lot of shouting and jostling of bodies. It's like a mosh pit down there at Reading Festival.
Yeah, I think they might have been more affected by the Metallica music than the Aztecs were. They're ready to go, they're getting themselves out there, and it'll be interesting. Obviously, they put up 20 points last time, Andrew. Let's see if they can continue that momentum. I know they'll have been talking about it in practice and in all their group chats that they're capable of scoring on this team.
That's it, and they split games against Cambridge and came back from a 16-point deficit against Rushmore to tie 2 weeks ago. Warren Smart talked about how too many times his team makes slow starts, and then in the second half they're able to then pick things up. So it's going to be interesting today to see how they start. Josh Jackerman gets us underway, and it's going to be James Turner returning the ball up the middle, tries to find a crease, stumbles and takes a knee, and that's going to mean an immediate whistle, and the ball's going to be spotted on the 21-yard line.
Yeah, decent start there, was able to bring the ball out. Good pursuit there from the Aztec special teams. A lot of field here for Wembley to play with, but let's see what they come out with on first down.
So it's a chance for the Stallions to get started, and Ted Watts under center leading that Wembley Stallions offense. Even with QBs coming in, he's maintained his place as QB1 throughout the season for the Stallions.
Yeah, like we said earlier, continuity is important, and that's probably a big part about why they've been able to turn things around in this second half of the season.
So first down and 10 for the Stallions. 2 receivers either side of the formation. There's going to be a pass to start off for Watts. Doesn't like what he sees. He rushes to the left side. He's met immediately by Idrissa Fofana. Gets back to the original line of scrimmage, and that's going to bring up second down for the Stallions offense.
Yeah, and you know, we said his name to start the game. We're saying it immediately on that first play. Idrissa back in the lineup, back on that D end, and that is a man you are going to struggle to outpace to the sideline.
Yeah, whenever a quarterback takes off, it is inevitable that Idrissa Fofana is going to be chasing him down. His motor and his energy between the plays is something to behold and watch. 2nd down and 10 for the Stallions, showing blitz there off the right-hand side. But it's a quick pass out to the left on the screen, and James Turner, who returned that first kickoff, takes the ball up, gets about a 4 to 5 yard gain, and it's a big 3rd down early on for the Wembley Stallions.
Yeah, but crucially manageable. You know, we're looking at 3rd down and 4 or 5 here, much better than 3rd and 10. They've got a big opportunity here, and a 1st down conversion could really set the tone for this offense.
Like we said earlier, Warren Smart calls the plays and runs the team and gives them a nice 3rd down here as they line up single receiver to the right-hand side. That's Abdul Ahmed lined up against Eddie Adamade. And the snap is taken as a handoff up the middle. It's going to be sniffed out straight away by that Bristol Aztecs defense. Josh Clark had nowhere to run, and the punt team comes on for the Wembley Stallions.
Yeah, absolute explosive pressure from that Aztec defensive front immediately. Able to just break through that offensive line and get there before the running back was able to do anything going on.
So Max Holland, punt returner extraordinaire, is lining up for the Aztecs. He's averaging about 14.5 yards on his punt returns here this season. There's a little bit of a confusion as Rehan Akinyedi comes in, and that brings the whistle from the officials, and we'll wait for Jed Brooks-Lewis to give us his call on
Wembley
that.
snapped the ball while they were substituting, and Bristol had no opportunity to match up. We will replay 4th down.
So no fouls there.
Guys, it's not a...
Referee just wanted to make sure it was all fair and equal for everybody, and we will punt again.
Yeah, back to what you were saying. I mean, 14 yards per punt return is incredible. It just shows what this punt return team have been able to do. Wembley will be fully aware of that.
So it's going to be a repeat of the punt. Lance McBean is back to punt for the Wembley Stallions. Takes the ball cleanly, gets it up into the air. Holland is underneath it and will return it up the right-hand side. Makes about 5 yards on the return. Daniel Kleinemans is the man there on the tackle, and we get to see the big 4 on offense for the Bristol Aztecs come out for the 1st down.
Yeah, and they're going to be starting in their own side of the field. Really good punt there from Wembley. Crucially, a lot of airtime really reduced Max's chance to be able to run away. But yeah, like you say, this offense, sometimes you don't know whether they like playing with a short field or a long field, because they're explosive either way.
12.5 minutes left in the first quarter. Ball spotted on the 44-yard line of the Bristol Aztecs. And they start out with an empty set. Josh Priest is out on the left-hand side alongside Sean Cook and Sam East. And it's a quick screen over to the right. Quinton Wimmer gets his hand on the ball to start with. Turns upfield, and as always, there's about 4 players around, and Quinton Wimmer still makes positive yards on the play, about a gain of 3, and brings up 2nd down for the Aztecs.
Yeah, and as we see here in the replay, ball's quick, the defender's able to get there quickly, but Quinton Wimmer shakes him off and makes a couple of yards out of nothing there.
526 yards for Wimmer on the season at a 20.2 per catch average. He is undeniably a weapon for the Aztecs as they shift with Cook and Brees coming into the backfield on 2nd down. And it's going to be a first run of the day for Josh Priest over to the left-hand side, using his blocks there very effectively. And Fidel Johnson drags him down, but not before the Bristol Aztecs get a 1st down all the way out to the Wembley Stallions 43-yard line.
Yeah, really shifty run here from Brees. You'll see the offensive line doing a great job here. Keanu Eubanks just pushing the defender back, and Brees making his way for that 1st down.
Henry Marsh checks into the game for the Aztecs. They like to bring in their different personnel packages. And now with Chris Green on the field as well. 4 receivers in the game for the Aztecs, with Josh Brees alongside Gretzinger in the shotgun. going to be a pass on first down for Gretzinger. There's pressure up the middle. The ball comes out. I think that bounces back into his hands. There's a real heart-in-the-mouth moment for the Aztecs on their first drive. Oh, scary times there, Greg.
Yeah, and he makes it back to the line of scrimmage. We'll see it here. He's looking downfield. Looked like he was trying to get to Chris Green, but before he was able to get open, has to scramble out of the pocket, and crucially doesn't lose the ball there.
We've seen it before during the season when Ethan Gretzinger rolls. There have been fumbles almost from the very start of the year against Belfast. Sometimes he doesn't have that ball security, and we saw it again there. Fortunately, the Aztecs get it back, and now East comes in motion across the formation, gets the swing pass, and now he is moving down that right sideline. Dragged down at the end by Nathan Williams, but that's a big play and a big first down for the Bristol Aztecs.
Yeah, this is a fantastic play. Nice swing pass here from Ethan. There's a great block. You'll see it at the top of your screen here. Chris Green doing just enough to make sure he can get to the outside and just keeps on running. Great chase down from the Stallion defender, but still enough for a first down.
So the Aztecs offense is rolling here after that heart-in-mouth moment from the general, Ethan Gretzinger. It's first down. Wimmer comes in motion across the formation. He turns it up and runs. Roll out to the left for Ethan Gretzinger. He was looking for Chris Green on the play, goes over his head, and on the coverage, Lance McBeam brings up second down for the Aztecs.
Yeah, like you say, looking for Chris Green there. I've known Chris Green for a very long time. He'll be the first to say that his pace isn't there. Maybe a few years ago he would have had the legs on him to get to that ball, but the route running, still absolutely fantastic.
Hey, that happens to us all in our 30s, I can attest to that. I didn't have much pace to start with, but it dwindled very, very quickly.
I was going to say, it happened to me in my 20s.
Second down and 10 for the Aztecs. Two receivers either side of the formation for Gretzinger. It was a pressure look from the Stallions. He wanted a quick pass. He didn't like it. He's gone down to fight another day. Pablo Mauricio will be credited for the sack on the tap there, but a real good call there by Wembley Stallions DC Rix Ricketts. Third down and long, Aztecs.
Yeah, we see it from the start of that play there. The edge defender just sheds Keanu, gets into the backfield. Ethan's got no time, and now we're looking at a third down and very long.
Inside 10 minutes left in the first quarter, the Aztecs in a little bit of a hole now. It's third down and 15 for them. And they go trips nubs with three receivers to the right-hand side. Sean Cook lined up as a tight end, as the lone eligible to the left. And it is a run for Josh Brees over to the left side. He had a lead block there. It's a meek VP, Eza El Nagmi, who was on the lead block. He's put another guy on the floor, but that's only going to bring up fourth down and 10. So interesting choices here now, Greg.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen the Aztecs choose to go for it in these situations. With Josh here, just the block came a little bit late. You'd like to see him bounce to the outside, unsure what to do, just behind Desi, as you say. And it looks like the offense is staying out, Andrew.
Yeah, so Rian Hudson, the OC, clearly had a two-play package for this situation. He's made about 4 yards on that first play, but it's still 11 to go on fourth down. And again, Wembley Stallions defense crowding the line of scrimmage. Gretzinger is back to pass. He tries to get it over the middle. He had Chris Green open. Chris Green found the middle of the soft spot of the defense, but the play is batted down, and the Aztecs come away with no points.
Yeah, and that was such a crucial bat down. We'll see it here again. Chris Green, just outside of your screen, is wide open, and that big paw from the Stallion defensive line just gets right up there. We'll see it in the wide shot. You see Chris Green wide open as he runs. That would have been probably all the way to the end zone. So crucially, not only a pass deflection, but a turnover on downs.
So that Wembley Stallions defense has come to play. There was a big play at the start there by Josh Brees. He got the drive moving, but they've been staunch, they've held their own, and now the Stallions offense has got a really nice starting field position on their 30-yard line. It's going to be a run to start the drive, cutting up the middle, and then met by 5 Aztecs defenders.
Yeah, credit them all with 0.2 of a tackle. They came flying through to stop that run before it started. And it may only be the second drive, but we have seen this defensive front really start to shut down this running game already.
Yeah, Josh Clark once again on the run, but he had nothing there that he could do when faced with all of the Bristol Aztecs defense converging on him. That brings up second down and 10. He did well to get back to the original line of scrimmage. And now it gives the Aztecs to put a little bit of pressure on. Fifth man on the line of scrimmage there as Watts is back to pass. Gets it out to the flat to Clark. Eddie Odamadi was on the tackle. Clark had to take a second there to make sure he had the ball in his grasp before taking the contact. It's going to be a loss of about 3 or 4 yards on the play. And third down, Wembley Stallions.
Yeah, Eddie Odamadi did a fantastic job here of shedding his wide receiver. He was in press coverage, saw the pass was a swing pass, got rid of his wide receiver, made his way into the backfield and made such a crucial tackle. Fantastic individual play from Eddie right there.
We can see Pete Jones on the sideline. He's wearing a 53 Adrissa Fofana shirt. He's showing the love to the defense. The defense now showing that pressure front with both inside backers showing blitz. They bail out, end up playing coverage as Watts is back to pass. He's got Hightower over the middle. Drags the Bristol Aztecs defenders. That was Chris Arena on the tackle, drags them forward. It brings up 4th down on the 40-yard line.
Yeah, and we'll see what the Stallions choose to do here. It looks like they're bringing out their punt team. Very, very good choice, I suppose, considering they're still in their own side of the field. But look at this play. Look at him breaking the tackle there. Looks like he's going to break another one. That is a big boy to try and bring down. And I really think this Aztec defense have taken that 0 points to heart, because some other games he might have broke that for a big gain.
Sorry, Jonathan Dwyer there on the catch. One of our 2 tight ends along with Matt Eisenhower. I went to my spotter sheet and got the first one, not the second, as the punt is away, and it's going to push Max Holland back inside his 20-yard line. He's letting the ball bounce all the way down to the goal line. It goes. It was chased there by Toby Alexis, but through the back of the end zone it goes. Touchback, and out the ball comes to the 20.
Yeah, that punt, the same as the first punt, nice and high, really put in Max on the back foot there. In that one, he wasn't even able to track. I wonder if the sun, that evil sun, got in his eyes to stop him from being able to track it correctly.
Yeah, he can't put on the cool shades like we've got on the in the commentary box, can he?
There's not enough shade for my ginger self to be happy.
Well, your ginger self, I am the son of a ginger as well, so we are not people who do well in the sun at all. If you want some Factor 50, you come to the commentary booth at Shaftesbury Park. We have got it in ample supplies. The Aztecs,
swimming in the stuff.
As the Aztecs come out on first down. 2 receivers, Green and East, to the left of Gretzinger, with Wimmer singled up on his own on the right-hand side. It's going to be a pass to Wimmer to start the drive off. Little slant play over the middle. He lowers the shoulder there, does Quinton Wimmer on Dylan Kemokai, and that's a first down and a nice little pitch and catch for Gretzinger.
Yeah, really good job there. It looked like Dylan was kind of shadowing from the safety position, kind of doubling up on Quinton Wimmer there, but still Ethan able to find him quickly and Quinton able to do the rest for a first down.
Yeah, Quinton Wimmer beat Aaron Rush on the coverage to start with, and the safety had to help out, or that could have very easily been a house play for the Aztecs. First down and 10. Another pass for Gretzinger, and it's Brees out into the flat behind the lead block of Sean Cook. But Toby Alexis is able to hang on to the legs, wraps him up, and it's going to be 2nd down and 9 for the Aztecs.
That was a fantastic play from Toby Alexis. He had to come through, diving at the legs of Josh Brees. Look at this swing pass, and immediately you will see 3 Stallion defenders right there, 1 blocker, unable to do anything with that matchup.
Yeah, Warren Smart, one of the things he did say is our starting cornerbacks, are starting to find their potential and find their belief and ability, and we saw it there on that play. So 2nd down and 9. Sean Cook comes across in motion. Again, we've got another quick screen. It's Chris Green this time who makes the catch. Forced out of bounds by Will Roman, who is their statistical leader with 7 interceptions on the season. He is their ball hawk of the secondary, and it brings up a big 3rd down.
Yeah, and going back to the DBs, you know, coming into their own, whether you believe in momentum or you don't, you're correct. This defensive back unit clearly believe in it, and they are working very well. That was another tackle, another stop in play from a fantastic defensive back unit.
I remember a number of podcasts from Michael Lombardi talking about momentum and whether it exists or not. We could have a whole podcast of our own on that as Chris Green comes in motion. Brees switches sides of Gretzinger in the gun. And on 3rd down, it's going to be another screen pass. It's Sam East's turn now. He gets away from 1 tackle, but then brought down by Maurizio, and the 2nd Stallions player, who was Nathan Williams. We're going to have a little look at the spots, and as a side judge beckons, that spin move by East was just enough to get the first down, Craig.
Yeah, we'll see it here again. Look at this spin move. He catches it, breaks inside, has to break a tackle, spins inside, goes back outside, already surrounded by Stallion defenders, and does just enough to inch across that first down marker.
So that moves the chains. We have just over 4 minutes to go in this first quarter. The ball's on the 41-yard line of the Aztecs. They're being made to work for every yard here in this game. Gretzinger's got trips to the right-hand side. And again, it's going to be a pass for Gretzinger, who was looking at Wimmer on the screen, decided not to take that option, and Fidel Johnson makes the tackle alongside Kofi Forrester-Fowler on the D-line there for the Stallions.
Yeah, and once again, we see Ethan feeling the pressure quickly and trying to escape the pocket. It's been a theme from these first couple of drives. The Stallion defense doing a fantastic job of keeping him contained and, you know, making him panic. This is the first time Ethan's seen this defensive front. He wasn't available for the first game.
No, 100%. So it is going to be a long day at the office. It's going to be, they're going to have to earn their yards. They're going to have to earn their touchdowns here. Sean Cook goes over to the right-hand side. He's the single receiver for the Aztecs, beckoning the DB to come play him in press as Josh Brees gets the pitch sweep over to the right-hand side. It's a Sean Cook block that's able to spring him, and it's only Will Roman dragging him down that prevents the touchdown. A big chunk play there for the Aztecs. It's always Josh Brees who brings that fire and that spark. Great play for the offense.
That was an amazing play, and as you're talking about, Sean, beckoning the block to come in. You'll see him at the top of your screen here. He makes a great block as he makes his way upfield. Josh just follows it, finds his way to the outside. Very patient run, and then just keeps going, able to be taken down by that final player. Look at that effort, stopping the touchdown.
Will Roman there had 4 interceptions 2 weeks ago against the Rushmore Knights. He is definitely a talented player there in the backfield for the Wembley Stallions as Gretzinger rolls out to his left again, sets to throw. He's got East over the top on the post. Sam East comes down with the ball. Touchdown, Aztecs!
And what a play it was. Ethan makes a slight rollout, finally has a second to make the play he wants to, looks downfield, sees East beating the defender, throws it up, and East makes such an athletic grab.
So we talked about how tough it was for the Aztecs in the early going, but there's one thing that we know they can do well, and they can get the ball downfield to Sam East. He goes up and high points that ball, and it's a big 6 points to calm those nerves for the Aztecs. Jimmy Yobi is set up to kick the extra point. Chris Green is on the hold. Snaps a little bit low, but Green gets the ball spotted, and through the uprights it goes, and the Aztecs are 7-0 up here in the first quarter.
Yeah, and it's taken a bit of time. You know, we've seen this Aztecs offense being able to fire on all cylinders. They've had to take a minute to find their footing here, but once again, it's big explosive plays that have really, you know, set the standard and put points on the board.
So whilst we are setting up for the kickoff, gives us a chance to remind everybody that today's coverage is proudly sponsored by Circular Waste Solutions, providing expert waste management, consultancy, and environmental staffing solutions. Circular Waste Solutions deliver tailored support to businesses of all sizes. Check out their website for more details. So Josh Jackerman setting up for the kickoff. And it's going to be both Josh Clark and James Turner back to return for the Stallions.
Yeah, and we'll see what they're able to do here. They're able to get a pretty, you know, average return on the last one as the ball goes very deep here. Going to be returnable, and he does have some space with some blockers in front of him. But defensive players right in the way. Number 44, that's Ryan Davis with the tackle. And great job, not even a tackle, just a shoulder check. Get down, son.
There we go. What's the... I refuse to do nicknames when I'm commentating. What do they call Ryan Davis?
I have no idea. What do you mean you refuse to do nicknames? You're trying to get the general going.
I'm professional to the core. You give me a nickname, I'll give you a full name with the middle name. Was it Big Ginge? Was that what they call him?
Someone's got to be called that, and it's not me.
Yeah, I'll probably get that wrong, and I feel really uncomfortable saying it, but there we go. It just shows how polite I am as the Stallions set up on offense. They're going to be on the 27-yard line as Davis blitzes up the middle. Ball goes out to the right-hand side quickly. Caught by Abdul Ahmed. Dragged down on the play by Trafford Ali, who came all the way over from his defensive end position. Nice gain on first down there for the Stallions. Getting 9 on the play, brings up 2nd and short.
Yeah, and it's always nice with a quick play like this, as we see the replay, the ball's not in the quarterback hand for long before he passes it, making 9 yards that quickly, but still good pursuit from the Aztecs, bringing up the 2nd down and short.
Yeah, we talked about the pressure that Aztecs defensive front brings, and it's always important to have a quick passing game, as they had a little fallback dive there for the Wembley Stallions. They're trying to push that pile through to get the first down. And that's Emmanuel Olubagju, who on the carry, able to push the pile. He's a linebacker for the Wembley Stallions, coming in as fullback and gets to move the chains for them.
Yeah, the big boy package coming in and getting the yards that it needs to. They're showing that already. Maybe that's something the Stallions are going to do as they get closer to that goal line, you know, using the Aztecs' speed against them and changing that with power.
So first down and 10 for the Wembley Stallions. Ball spotted on the 39-yard line. They got a condensed trips look to the left-hand side for Watts as he sets back to throw. Fafana coming through the middle there. He sets it up, and Adam Woodward finishes it off. Big loss on the play for the Wembley Stallions. That takes them back 8 yards, and it's going to be 2nd and huge for the Wembley Stallions.
Yeah, and the pressure that Adrissa brings here is massive. There is a short outlet to be found, but unfortunately he's in his face immediately. He's got to escape, he's got to scramble and protect that ball. These guys will force fumbles. They will ruin your day.
Adam Woodward with his 6.5 sack on the season. He has been a force, and so often it's the pressure up the middle that gets the sack for Adam Woodward. He scoops up everything that is sent his way. And with the pressure down, you see all of those Aztecs up on the line. It's a pitch sweep over to the left-hand side for Josh Clark. Met immediately, though. And it's going to be Adam Deverell who comes up to make the tackle there. 3rd down and long upcoming for the Wembley Stallions. So that brings us to the end
This is the end of the first quarter.
Yeah, Brooks doing the job for me. That's the end of the first quarter. And as they turn over and switch sides for the second quarter, we're going to take it down to Katie on the sideline, who's going to give us a little bit more about those Aztec statistical leaders on offense.
Thanks, guys. When it comes to tearing up an opponent's playbook, the Aztecs' masterclass is the offense. Now, they are sweeping the #1 spot across all of the major categories, and that includes Ethan Gretzinger, quarterback, pacing the nation with 1,097 passing yards. Josh Brees dominating on the ground game with 610 rushing yards, and Quintin Wimmer, today's birthday boy as well, anchoring the air attack with 526 receiving yards. Those numbers have launched this unit into a different stratosphere this season, cementing their status as the most feared elite offense in the country. They aren't just moving the chains, they are executing an unstoppable tempo and suffocating defensive coordinators every single week. Back up to you guys to talk about how a defensive side even begins to combat that.
Oh, to be young, to be 24 and to have a birthday. God, 24 was a long time ago for me there, Craig.
Yeah, I mean, I can't even remember 24. That's how long we're talking. But I can remember how many of those yards came about, and each one of them has been incredible. He deserves to have a fantastic birthday, and I'm sure he will on the field and off.
So 3rd down and long for those Wembley Stallions. It's a fake pitch sweep for the Stallions there, and as Watts rolled out, he thought he would be free to make a pass. Instead, he had Eddie Onamade there, who was been able to drag him down for the sack, and it is 4th down and a bus ride for the Wembley Stallions.
Yeah, you know, when you come up with a 3rd down, a crucial 3rd down at a change of quarter, it can go either way. The offense can think about what they need to do, but the defense can decide, you know, how to combat that. Adrissa had 2 fantastic plays in a row. Eddie Odamadi finishing it off and bringing up this 4th and insanely long that they're just going to have to punt, and the Aztecs probably going to have good field position from this.
So the first down play was started on the 38-yard line. We are now on the 19-yard line as the punt is away. And it's an incredibly short punt. It's gone straight up in the air. You hear the poison calls. It even comes back with a bit of spin. And that's down on the 30-yard line. So a punt of about 11 yards there for the Stallions. And the Aztecs have got superb starting field position for this drive.
Yeah, you know, I was speaking to Alfie Shawumne, one of the players for the Aztecs, before the game started. He's had a few punt blocks so far this season, and without him on the field, I was saying I wanted to see some punt blocks. He was like, trust me, they'll get close. Each one of them have been close, and that time the punter just had to put it as high in the air as he could, and unfortunately for him, barely went anywhere.
Yeah, Jim Powell-Cunifer does love to bring that pressure on the punt. It's such an important part of the game to set up field position, and now the Aztecs on the Wembley 26-yard line are working here in the second quarter. First down play is to Josh Priest on the left-hand side. There's a swathe of red shirts there, forcing him out of bounds, and it brings up second and long for the Aztecs offense.
Yeah, able to make a couple of yards out of nothing there. The Stallions did a fantastic job. We see them getting into the backfield. There's a really good block there. I believe that was Ezzy with the block, but unfortunately, because of the pressure, Josh not able to make as much of it as he usually would.
So looking at the stats of the Aztecs over the year, 106 points have come in the second quarter, their highest scoring quarter during a game. So this is when statistically they're able to turn on all cylinders and put the other team to the sword. On second down, it's Gretzinger back to pass. Wimmer has the ball. He's got the offensive lineman out in front, and it was another toe tap that stopped the touchdown. It's going to be a first down and a moving of the change for the Aztecs offense. But when we get that tunnel rocket screen, magic things can happen.
Yeah, and you know, as we watch the play again, watch possibly my favorite fake of all time, Josh Priest going for the over-the-shoulder fake catch straight out to Wimmer, and if it wasn't for that shoestring tackle, you know he was gone.
He saw that, the birthday boy coming up from the floor. He knew how close he was there to scoring a touchdown. And Wimmer is going to be singled up on the left-hand side there, one-on-one against Toby Alexis on this first down play. Gretzinger is back to pass, launches it over to the right-hand side. He's got Chris Green. He's diving to his right-hand side, and it's called incomplete there on the corner route.
Yeah, I was watching that one in person rather than screen. We'll get a replay here. I thought Chris Green had made a fantastic grab. Great throw from Ethan, by the way. Sets himself well, puts it down low, and oh yeah, Greener just uses the ground there for a little dribble before bringing it in. He knows, he doesn't complain.
Just bobbled there. Good call from our BAFA crew here. And that brings up second down and 10. First down was a shot to the end zone. And we know Rian Hudson, we know he's going to be dialing up maybe one or two more of those. As Sam East comes in motion behind Gretzinger, it's over to East. Chris Green with a great block. Quinton Wimmer with the wall. And Sam East is in for his second touchdown on the day. Touchdown, Aztecs!
Oh, and what a play this was all round. This is where the Aztecs use that pace, use that consistency, and they start to wear the defenders down. You will see here in the replay, he slows himself down as the players are starting to come in. We see the Stallion defenders moving across to the play, looking like he's going to bounce inside, takes it outside with a quick sidestep. Nobody's stopping him like that, not with a fantastic block from Quinton Wimmer.
Yeah, you know when Quinton Wimmer is on the lead block, it's going to be very difficult for a DB to get off of that and make a play. Not just a great receiver, but great in the run game blocking as well, as Joby looks to put it through. I think that might have been a tip on that ball as it went across the line of scrimmage, but it's still through the posts at the motorway end. Do you know why we call it the motorway end, Craig?
Why is that?
There's a motorway behind us. You can just see it right there. And that makes it 14-0 to the Bristol Aztecs.
And as they start to make their way back, you know, this is a crucial time for the Wembley Stallions. This is 2 scores unanswered. They were able to put up 20 when they were at home. Different conditions. It's hotter today. It's easier to get tired out. They're going to have to make sure they're hydrated on the sideline. Otherwise, the Aztecs celebrating in the end zone is going to be a view they're going to have to get used to seeing.
Yeah, it was a really positive start in that first quarter. They were bringing the pressure. They were able to keep Josh Brees in check, and it's just been 2 really big plays by the Bristol Aztecs. And of course, that punt didn't help with the starting field position for the Wembley Stallions either.
No, and the thing is, when you're playing on defense and you give your offense such good field position, you want to see them score. For them to do that in only a few plays says a lot about everybody on this team.
Turner is able to break it up the left-hand side on the return. He's brought it all the way up to the 45-yard line of the Wembley Stallions. That gives them great starting field position from the kick return. And we've got a new quarterback in for the Wembley Stallions. Boris Poynarov is in, with Ted Watts being left on the sideline for this drive. So we talked about how Warren Smart likes to develop his quarterbacks. He's bringing in his QB2. He wants to see if that can give the offense a little bit of a spark.
Sometimes that's what you need. Sometimes a player has a bit of a different skill set. We'll see what he's able to bring, and maybe he's able to get this offense to rally around him.
Poynarov is under center to start the drive. He hands it off to Clark over the right-hand side. Doesn't make many yards on the play, and it's Fred Smith, the statistical monster from the linebacker position for the Aztecs, who makes the tackle.
Yeah, I imagine you say Fred's name a lot up here when the Aztecs are on defense.
17 tackles, 3 sacks even, and of course that big fumble return TD against the Rushmore Knights earlier in the season. He's got a lot going on next to his name on my spot sheet there.
Yeah, and Snacks might be right, because he's certainly eating whenever he's out on the field with all these tackles.
So it is actually Fred Smith who is down on the field. So we're going to have a little stoppage here whilst he is attended to. And we talked about that fumble return. That was a meet VP moment.
The Bristol player presented with an injury after the ball was spotted. Therefore, Bristol will be charged with their first timeout.
So that fumble return was the meet VP play against the Rushmore Knights at home, and it gives us a chance to remind everyone and give a big thank you to New Manor Farm Shop for sponsoring today's Meet VP, award-winning farm shop, butchers and deli, offering quality local produce and sustainable food from across the region. Matt Vanstone, a former Bristol Aztecs player, is the impetus behind the Meet VP and that sponsorship, so very big thank you to Matt Vanstone.
Yeah, it's great to have these local sponsors get involved, and it's good for the players. It gives them something to compete for, you know. A meat hamper, are you kidding me? Can we win that up here?
Well, the thing is, I really feel like I am sometimes the MVP of the production, but nobody wants to present me with a meat hamper worth £50 from the New Manor Farm Shop. I'm saying that for free. So second down for Poynarov in the backfield. He's going to be able to pass for the first time out to the right-hand side. Ahmed on the catch. He's able to turn up and make a few yards there. Bundled out of bounds he was by Romain Burat, and that's going to bring up third down and about 6 yards for the Wembley Stallions.
Yeah, Boris there with a nice little throw. Looks like it escaped his hand a little bit, so the player having to come back to get it. But third down in about 6 years, a lot more manageable. And we'll see if they get across the halfway line, whether they decide to go for it on fourth down, assuming they do not convert here.
Poynarov coming over to the sideline. He's getting his steps in to get the calls from Warren Smart. And Poynarov's got 2 receivers either side of the formation here on the third down. Lots of pre-snap movement from that Aztecs defense. He passes it out to the right-hand side, and it was Javier Laidley who had the opportunity there to pick off Poynarov. The ball goes down, and Craig, isn't that why they say DBs are at DB and not wide receiver?
You know, I hate that. As a former DB, it can be very true. I tell you what, this is one that's going to be shared in all the WhatsApp groups, right in the hands. He's going to want that one back.
There was a chance there for a meet VP play from Javier Laidley. Instead, it goes down as incomplete pass. We never need to talk of it. It's not like there's a stream on YouTube and film on Huddle. It's not like there's any of those things.
Put it down as a pass deflection and let the man be happy with that.
Back down it is, we call it in the booth, as Holland takes the punt on the run. Up the middle he goes. He's making good yardage here for the Aztecs on the punt return. Brought down at the 40-yard line, and a nice play there from Max Holland. The punt return extraordinaire, and brings out the Bristol Aztecs offense.
Yeah, and when he's capable of doing things like that, it's any wonder that sometimes these punts get away from the punter. Great return, gets it closer to the halfway line than it should be, you know.
So the Aztecs are out on offense. Braden Bice has checked into the game in replacement of Sean Cook, and you don't see much of a let-off in the run blocking game when Braden Bice comes in. Still waiting for his first catch on the season, but an absolute asset to the Aztecs in the running game and pass protection game. So 2 receivers to the left-hand side for Gretzinger. Wimmer singled up on his own at the bottom of your screen. And it's Wimmer on the quick out who takes the ball. Forced out of bounds there by Aaron Rush. And that's a nice little gain that brings up 2nd down for the Aztecs.
Yeah, and as they were lining up here, I was wondering if Quinton Wimmer was going to be running a quick inside, a quick outside, because the defender lining up so far away from him, which is understandable because he will beat you long as well. So lots to think about for these DBs today.
2nd down and 5 for the Aztecs. Under 11 minutes to go here in the 2nd quarter. We'll talk about our halftime show and what we've got lined up when we get a moment. And it's going to be Brees on the handoff behind a wall of blue for the Aztecs. He was trying to be dragged down there, but instead turns it up. Right-hand side for Josh Brees, making everybody miss. There's a sea of confusion in the Wembley Stallions defensive backfield. They've got no idea where he is, but he ends up getting brought down on the 40-yard line. It was Pablo Mauricio who had him in the backfield, dead to rights, and somehow Josh Brees turns that into a 20-yard gain.
Yeah, Josh beat Brees just spamming the spin button there as he makes his way out of multiple tackles. We'll see it here in the replay. Really good job from this defensive front, blocking up the gaps, sealing the edge, but unable to make the tackle as he makes his way all the way around. And once again, we'll see him just hand a man off as Chris Green gets in the way, makes his way inside. Great run there from Josh Brees.
Sam Hodge has checked into the game for the Aztecs on 1st down as Gretzinger again rolls out to the left-hand side. He's got Wimmer, but he also had Toby Alexis there on the pass defense. Alexis has stayed down. It was a Herculean effort to stop Wimmer taking that pass. So we'll have a quick break here whilst we wait for Alexis to get back up. But huge shot there by the Aztecs and a great play by Alexis.
That was a fantastic play by Alexis.
My time for an injured player. The player was presented injured prior to the ball being spotted. Therefore, Wembley will not be charged a timeout.
Yeah, and hopefully he's able to get up as we hear the explanation on the timeouts versus no timeouts. He's been fantastic today, and that was great coverage against a fantastic player. But gets himself between the ball and the player and just makes himself as big as possible, making the catch as difficult as possible for Quinton. Could have come up with an interception there possibly, but overall fantastic play, and we hope he's all right.
So there's a pretty special American weekend that is going on here in the southwest of the country. It is the Rock and Ribs, and you still have time to experience the ultimate American weekend. So Rock and Ribs is happening this weekend at the Bath & West Showground, Somerset. It's bringing one of the UK's biggest celebrations of American culture. You can enjoy monster trucks, live music, mouth-watering food, and so much more. You can visit the website today to get tickets, and don't miss out. And not just that, the Bristol Apache will be playing at the Rock and Ribs Festival against the Bournemouth Bobcats tomorrow. So fantastic showcase of all that is American, Craig.
Yeah, Rock and Ribs have been a fantastic sponsor for the Aztecs, so hosting that Apache game is great as well. And yeah, hopefully we'll see a lot of people down there.
2nd down and 10 for the Aztecs. You've still got Sam Hodge in the backfield. Braden Bryce shifts across the formation. It's a first handoff for Hodge on the left-hand side. He's turned it upfield and dragged down there by the Wembley Stallions. Luke Agodo Avbara able to make the tackle. It gets about 5 yards on the play. That's going to bring up 3rd down and 5 for the Aztecs offense.
Yeah, we'll see Luke come into screen here. Sheds his block, makes a great tackle as we go to the referee. Nope, the ref was waving over. I thought he was going to talk to us.
Trying to predict the referees when they turn their mics on is tricky. We never give them direction, and they don't wave at us. They just talk, and then we're talking over them. We've got to have a production meeting with the referees at some point, I feel.
Hey, I appreciate it. They got to keep us on our toes. And I believe, is that Ezzy making his way to the sideline? I believe so. Yeah, it's Ezzy. Hopefully he's okay. Looks like he's picked up a little bit of an injury. Hopefully they've taken him off just to be on the safe side. Able to get off under his own weight, which is always a good sign.
Yeah, so Nick Radley checks in, and there's experience there at the backup right tackle position for the Aztecs, not just in this country, but overseas as well. There's going to be Gretzinger on third down, back to pass. Fires it deep. Chris Green was there. It is fingertips away from him as he was into the end zone. He'd crossed Will Roman's face there, and it goes incomplete and brings up fourth down. So close, Craig.
Yeah, I think every player almost started celebrating the touchdown. It looked like a sure thing. Unfortunately, the pass just out of the reach of Chris Greener. Unable to get to the ball. Fantastic blocking though. Ethan finally getting the time he needs in the pocket to make these passes. Just not there with the accuracy right now.
And the thing is, with that third down play, taking that shot, it still gives you that same amount of distance to try and get on fourth. So pressure on the Aztecs here to keep the drive going. The ball on the 37-yard line. It's 4th down and 5 for that Aztecs offense. And an opportunity here for the Stallions defense, showing a bit of a blitz look here. It's a handoff to Brees on the left-hand side. He's got a head of steam. He's able to get over the first down marker. And a great play there by the running back and offensive line to get the yards.
3 things are certain in this world: death, taxes, and Josh Brees running for a first down. This is a great play as we see it again. He gets to the outside. This is a brave play call as well, rushing at this stage. And these 4th down conversions can be real game changers. It really affects your mood if they occur on you or if you get them, you know. Big play, big decision, and it worked out well for the Aztecs.
William Bunce, a big part of that run blocking on the left-hand side as Henry Marsh has checked into the game.
It looks like
and we're going to have a quick stoppage again for an injury here.
For a injured referee.
So whilst we have a minute, gives us a chance to talk about what we're going to be doing a little bit differently here today at halftime. So normally we have the kicking competition with from Nando's. We have people trying to kick a 20-yard field goal, and obviously we then have the hilarity of the failures there. But today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. It's going to be a flag football game on the field during halftime. This has been done in conjunction with one of the Aztecs players, Chris Green, from the school that he teaches at. So they're going to be his students playing a flag football game here on the field. And we've got Katie down with Russ Hewitt, who not only being a massive part of British American football, he went over to Australia to help in setting up and doing a number of things over there. They're going to be down on the field talking to us about flag football and seeing what those young people can do.
Yeah, this is really cool. It's a cool thing for the Aztecs to let these kids get out there and show what they've been doing and what their capabilities are, and to hear from Russ and what's involved. I mean, flag football is growing. It's going to be at the Olympics. It's very exciting to see, and yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing the skills that these kids have.
And the thing is, we look at the Aztecs roster as well. There are a number of players who are part of that GB setup and have got one eye on LA 2028, not just AJ Carr, but Eddie Onamade as well. And as we get closer and closer to that Olympic year, it's going to be fantastic for British American football and flag football as well. So we're back up and running here on first down for the Aztecs. Our referee is back up and running as well, and it's Gretzinger on first down, who's back to pass. He's got space and time. He can roll out to the right. He's signaling Wimmer. Instead, he takes it off and runs it himself. He's pushed out of bounds there. Looks like that was a late push out of bounds by Luke Agoda Avbara. The flags fly, and not just on the run. We look like we're going to get a bit more yardage for the Aztecs.
Yeah, we'll hear from the ref in a second, but definitely looked like he got pushed out of bounds there after a great run, but amazing blocking from the offensive line.
Yeah, Ezet Arnami has come back in. He's had the wet paper towel on the injury. It's done him some good, and he was really showing it there on that right tackle position.
After the play was over, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, late hit, number 23 of the defence. This penalty will be enforced half distance from the end of the run and will bring up an automatic first down.
Yeah, so not only have we got the huge run there by Ethan Gretzinger, the general there on the field, then they are able to tack on the penalty as well. So it's going to take the ball all the way down to the 10-yard line for the Aztecs, and they are rolling and looking for a touchdown once again.
Yeah, he was able to get himself to the outside. I think we're going to see that a bit more from Ethan when the passing lanes aren't there. He's tried running up the middle a few times. It doesn't look like it appears to be there, so the outside might be his bread and butter for the rest of this game.
So as the Aztecs break the huddle, we have a timeout from the Aztecs. And Ryan Hudson comes out to the numbers to talk to his offense. So we can...
Timeout taken. Bristol, this is their second charge timeout of the half.
So we can talk again about that BAFA weekend and Ryan Hudson getting the Aspiring Coaches Award. Only 22 still as the offensive coordinator for the Aztecs. Picked up the role mid-season last year and has really taken it and run with it.
Yeah, and it's good to see young people getting involved with coaching. It's very easy to just be involved with wanting to play, wanting to get on the field, but there's so much fun to be had in coaching. We see a lot of players get involved with it. Again, on the Aztecs podcast, I got to speak with T, and he coaches at the UE Bullets. And he said he wishes he got into coaching much sooner because it's helped him as a player. So hopefully we see a lot of these younger players join Ryan, but maybe under his mentorship, because he looks like he's one to watch for the future on the sidelines.
So out of the timeout, first down and 10 for the Aztecs. They're going to put Chris Green and Quinton Wimmer on the left-hand side, and Sammy's singled up on Aaron Rush here at the bottom of your screen. Brendan Bice has checked back into the game at tight end for the Aztecs. And it's going to be a pass by Gretzinger. He just lofts it over in the direction of Quinton Wimmer. Throws it up when your receiver's 6'4", and he's also 235 pounds. You like your odds there, but it's incomplete, and it brings up second down for the Aztecs.
Yeah, Daniel Kleinum's on the pass coverage here. Does a great job of getting over there at the last second, getting his hand up, breaking the pass. Really good job there from Ethan to get that ball away. You've said his name a few times, but Luke Ogado able to get through that line very quickly and almost caused the pass break up immediately.
So 7.5 minutes to go here in the second quarter. It's 14-0 to the Aztecs, and they are knocking on the door once again. On second down, it's a handoff to Brees on the right-hand side. He's got blockers in front. He's juking. He's bouncing it over to the left-hand side. It is a ridiculous run and show-off athleticism from Josh Brees as he breaks out the gritty. Touchdown, Aztecs!
And what a fantastic run here. He looked like he could have done whatever he wanted against this defense. Decided the corner looks like a good place to score this one. And that bounce out was absolutely incredible. What an athlete, what a player, what a touchdown for the Aztecs.
It's almost like he was playing a game of battleships. I've scored here, I've scored there. I now want to go C1 and take your destroyer. I'm going to run over there and score my touchdown on that side of the field. Just a ridiculous run there by the Aztecs running back one, Josh Brees. And as Ash Bailey comes out to kick the extra point, Chris Green goes under center. We've seen this touch push, but instead it's a handoff to Ash Bailey. A more traditional under center run, trying to make the 2 points, but come up short. And with that, it is 20-0 for the Aztecs.
Yeah, Ash Bailey had a chance there to bounce this inside. I think his momentum took him too far out before he saw the space that was there. So yeah, like you say, 20 points to 0, and I believe the Stallions are starting to feel the heat, feel the pressure a little bit more now. Be interesting to see what they do going into the half.
Well, this is it. It is a warm day here in Bristol. We're in the middle of a heat wave, and whilst football isn't coming home after the disappointment of Wednesday. Obviously, you were probably ecstatic, weren't you, Craig, that football wasn't coming home? I hear you have some Argentinian heritage in you here.
I wouldn't go that far. I might handle the heat a little bit better, but no, it's fun. Listen, when you're in group chats with a bunch of England fans, it's fun to play the villain.
I thought you had Norwegian heritage the week before as well. You were finding roots of your family tree that you didn't know existed.
Hey, these DNA tests reveal a lot about yourself. I was Mexican the week before that. So
I can imagine. So, yeah, all about the Azteca as Jackman gets it underway. It's a low line drive kick that bounces out to Josh Clark. Up the middle he goes. He finds some space on the right-hand side. And now Josh Clark has got some space to work with. Dragged down there by Sam Hodge. Not only can he run the ball, but he's a special teams demon for the Bristol Aztecs, and that's going to spot it on the 35, maybe even the 36-yard line for the Wembley Stallions.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic job here. Bouncing it to the outside. He gets a minute because of the ball bouncing into his hands. He fakes it inside, takes it outside. All the Aztec defenders just pursuing inside, leaving that lane open. But as you say, great tackle before things got out of hand.
So James Turner is back in at quarterback for the Wembley Stallions. He is in the shotgun. And his first down pass is over the middle. Sorry, it's not. Sorry, I've got it completely wrong. James Turner isn't in. I can see the 8. It's still Poinaroff who is in at quarterback. It was James Turner, the intended receiver, on the play. That's incomplete and brings up second down. Too many 8s. Too many 8s going on for me here.
Too many 8s. Interesting on that play. Boris saw the route. I don't know if maybe there was a bit of miscommunication between him and the receiver, as it looked like he was trying to lead the receiver down the field, whereas he'd already turned back in. Those things can happen when it's a backup. They don't have the same connection that your starter will have.
Yeah, a little bit of confusion
Timeout.
there.
Wembley. This is their first charge timeout.
Wembley forced to use a timeout as they weren't quite sure of the personnel groupings to come onto the field. Had Luca Giangelini trying to get onto the field, and Warren Smart decides to take the timeout and just settles everything down, which is a nice move, a good show of veteran experience there from Warren Smart, because just gets everybody set and makes sure the right play comes into the players.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, this is a stressful situation. You're away. It's your first season in the Premiership. You're playing the current champions. You're playing, you know, the defending national champions. You've got to take each moment as it comes, and if you can take away some of that stress on the players, do it. It's a timeout. You can't take them with you.
You cannot take them home with you at all. No, that is one fact to take away from today's stream. Those timeouts do not follow you home. So second down and 10 for the Wembley Stallions. Looks like they're going to be lining up in a very traditional I formation. It's like watching the Chicago Bears in the 1970s here. As Ahmed comes across the formation in motion. It's a fake to the running back. Bournemouth rolls out to the right-hand side. He was looking for Jonathan Dwyer. Instead, it's the GB safety, Tom Seeger, who comes up with the interception. It's his second of the year. Big play for the Aztecs.
Yeah, great interception. Comes diving across the field. It looked like the pass was going to be there for a moment, but just disguises it well enough to dive across, gets his knee down, gets out of bounds. Give me that ball, son.
Yeah, Tom Seeger, we did a lot of work on finding out about the players in the preseason, and I remember Seeger's phrase the most. He said, I'm not the most athletic, but I know what's going on in my head, and I know what I can see. And you can see he diagnosed the play, cuts in front of the route, and makes a great play there to turn the ball over.
Yeah, there he is celebrating as the Aztec offense already out, looking to put up some more points before this half is over.
Henry Marsh into the game at the bottom of your screen as Brees takes the handoff right up the middle. He goes. It's Rehan Akinyedi who drags him down. There's a question of whether the ball came out on the tackle. Referees are signaling that he was down by contact. The Wembley Stallions are disagreeing vehemently. But it's going to be second down to the Aztecs.
Yeah, you know, if I was a Stallion player on the sideline, I'd be disappointed if they agreed with the referee there. This is a great tackle. He wraps him up, gets around that ball, and it's very close. It is very, very close. Brees lands on top of the defender. They do have an argument there that it should have been a turnover. The Aztecs may be getting a bit lucky here on this call.
Yeah, we've got a great slow motion there from Tom in the van. showing us the play. We get the referee in the van, but we don't get the red challenge flag here in our games. As it's over the top, it was an errant pass by Gretzinger, and a huge moment from the Wembley Stallions. It was Will Roman, the interception leader for the Stallions. It was into his chest. It came out straight away. That could have been a pick six and a huge play for the Wembley Stallions.
Yeah, and it just catches him off guard. He's not expecting that ball to be so wayward. It hits him right in the numbers, but he's catching it like a basket. He's not got his hands ready, and you know, he's probably thinking to himself, I didn't need that many interceptions last week. Could have done with one this week.
Yeah, there was confusion there. Gretzinger looking at Chris Green looking at Ethan Gretzinger. And the Aztecs offense lives to fight another day on third down. This is a bobbled handoff. It's Josh Brees sprinting over to the left-hand side. He's trying to make something happen there. The scrum is initiated from the Aztecs. There's a horde of bodies around the ball. And it's only a gain of 1, maybe 2 yards, and it's fourth down. We know the Aztecs like to stay out on fourth down. And let's see what they do here.
Yeah, and if you're the Stallions here, you want this turnover. You know, there was calls of a fumble. They should have had an interception. They just stopped Josh Brees before he was able to make too many yards. This is huge for them. In their minds, they deserve that football. Anything less is going to be disappointing on this fourth down.
So we've seen fourth down conversions for the Aztecs. They're almost at 70% fourth down conversion rating on the season. So they have a lot of confidence in their ability to keep the ball moving and not to bring that punt team out. Josh Brees is in the backfield. It's a wildcat look. We see this around the goal line a lot from the Bristol Aztecs. And with the pulling guard, Josh Brees off to the races there. Makes the first down and about 20 yards more. Brees and guard on the pull, led the charge, and the Aztecs moved the chains.
Yeah, I mean, from the point the ball was snapped here, it looked inevitable. Josh taking a knee, needs a bit of a break. He's deserved it. You see him in this as we get to the replay. He just takes a second here to see what's going on, finds his lane, waits for Ezzy to get in front of him, who makes a fantastic block. Josh does the rest to shorten this field and get to about the 30-yard line.
Howie Buckland checks in on offense. He's been playing defense over the last few games for the Bristol Aztecs. He was playing offense in the bowl last season and takes his spot on the far side of your screen there alongside Chris Green. And it's going to be a pitch sweep to Sam Hodge on the right-hand side on first down. Sam Hodge lowers the shoulder. We call him the Hammer. Well, we don't. I call him the Hammer. And that's exactly what he did to Martin Dramina there. Big run by Sam Hodge, and it brings up second and short.
Yeah, the thing is, when you're a hammer, everything looks like a nail. And he certainly decided to take that approach as he just bashed his way through that Stallion defense.
I'll tell you what, Craig, I'll serve him up. You hit him out of the park, yeah? Should we just do that, yeah?
We'll give it a go.
Second down and very short for the Bristol Aztecs. No more than a yard here as Sean Cook is in the game at H-back. Sam Hodges stayed in at running back for the Aztecs. Another handoff with Cook on the lead block. Sam Hodge running his feet through the contact, gains about 7 yards on the play. He averages about 8.1 yards a carry, and I know for a fact that I don't want to be on there to try and tackle him when he gets through the defensive line.
No, and look at this handoff. Look at how calm everybody is. The edge defenders are making their way into the backfield. They hold their nerve, hand the ball off, and Hodge just does the rest.
And a big part of this Aztecs offense is how they can rotate through their running backs. We've now got Sean Vaughan, who's checked in. He's only averaging 5.7 yards a carry on the season with 2 touchdowns. And it's just one running back after another for the Aztecs that teams have got to deal with.
Yeah, I mean, when your third string running back is only getting over 5 yards a carry, you know your rush game's in a good place.
Buckland comes in motion. It's roll out to the left for Gretzinger. He sets to throw to the pylon. He was looking for Buckland. It's Will Roman on the coverage.
Yeah, great coverage again. I think we'll be saying that a lot about these Stallion defense, these DBs. Really good job. Ethan doing what he can to make sure the ball's placed where only his receiver can get it, but these DBs, they're like glue out there, and that's not a Stallion joke.
Oh God, that's a very deep and twisted joke on, if I do say so myself. Second down and 10. Coach Smart said that the defense was going to come and take the fight to the offense of the Aztecs, and they are now battling to keep them out of the end zone here as we tick down to 3 minutes left in the quarter. Sean Vaughan gets his first carry of the game, rumbles forward for about 5 yards, and it's going to bring up a big third down for the Aztecs, and we know they like to go for it on fourth, Craig.
Yeah, and we'll see them do that now. They're subbing in. Josh Brees is coming back in. You know, we see it in the NFL. Teams like to have that big play, bigger running back to match their quicker scat back, and the Aztecs are doing that, and it's working out fantastically. Josh Brees coming in with a bit of a rest. Oof, that sounds dangerous.
Yeah, he's had an orange, a refreshing sideline orange there. And back into the game he comes on third down. Gretzinger's back to pass. He's looking for Chris Green. They've tried to make that connection throughout the first half. They now are able to shore it up. A nice catch there by Chris Green. Touchdown, Aztecs!
Yeah, and this is an amazing grab from Chris Green. He spins his body around, reaches out, gets the ball where only he can get it. As we see the replay here, boom, right there. Finally, that connection between Ethan and Chris Green is come to fruition, and it's come to 6 points.
Lovely play there. We saw even in that first drive of the game that Chris Green could have had a walk-in score if the ball hadn't been tipped on the line. Some movement here, faking that tush-push look on the extra points, a low snap. And the kick is through the posts. It's Ash Bailey coming in to kick. And that extra point is converted. It makes it 27-0 to the Bristol Aztecs.
Yeah, they're starting to run away with this a little bit as we start to make our way towards the end of the half. Another fantastic passing play from Ethan Gretzinger, finding his receivers. We've seen that connection be just out of reach a little bit a couple of times, but Chris scoring another touchdown. I believe that's his 4th on the season, Andrew?
That is indeed his 4th touchdown of the season. You are correct.
So yeah, he's there. Like we said earlier, the legs might not be there to run the fades, but trust me, he's a great route runner with fantastic hands to match.
So Josh Jackerman setting up for the kickoff. James Turner and Josh Clark once again are back to return for the Wembley Stallions. They're set up on their 10-yard line. It was a shorter kick last time for Jackerman, so you can see them just creeping up a little bit from the goal line. And this one's sent high into the sky in the direction of Clark. He takes it on the bounce on the right-hand side, looking for a lane, looking for movement, and then met by Harry Ward. Ball is going to be spotted on the 22-yard line. It's first down for the Wembley Stallions offense.
Yeah, Harry Ward coming flying in, making a great play, laying some wood, and yeah, making it difficult for this Stallion offense. They've got a long way to go, not a long time to go before it gets to the end of the half. They're going to want to put up some points.
So in the pregame, we spoke about how Warren Smart had a room of quarterbacks, and now Henry Flint, QB3, is in the game. He came across from the Rushmore Knights earlier in the season. And again, Warren Smart not afraid to show his hand and try and find a spark on offense for the Wembley Stallions. A bit of an errant snap, and it's Flint on the run to start off the drive. Lowers the shoulder there, tackled down by Ryan Clark. And that's going to bring up second down for the Stallions.
Yeah, we got a bit of a whistle from the ref. I don't know if we got a...
This is the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes remain in the second quarter. Bristol have 1 timeout remaining. Wembley have 2 timeouts remaining.
So 2-minute warning has been called. It's 27-0 to the Bristol Aztecs. And the Stallions have got 7 yards to go here to move the chains. Flint is back to pass. We've got a middle screen set up. Clark takes the ball, fumbles it, makes sure he secures it. And it's about a 2-yard gain there on the play.
And there the flag players getting ready to go out on the field. Potentially some future Aztecs out there. Look at the hops on him. He's getting ready to reach up.
So Flint has come out of the game. Sam Turner Sorry, he hasn't. I need to get a handle on my quarterbacks. They are moving. The quarterbacks are playing receiver as well. This is what I'm learning. So Flint's still in on 3rd down for the Wembley Stallions. It's 3rd down and about 5 as he drops back to pass. Got a man out to the left-hand side. That was Sam Collis. It was just over his head. It would have been a nice 1st down and a move the chains moment, but it ends up as 4th down and the punt team comes on for the Stallions.
Yeah, very unfortunate there. You know, the first play, I think it's hard to know whether he lowered his shoulder or he's still stumbling from the nearly fumble off the snap. And as he tried to get a bit of a handle on things there, both his passes just a little bit out of reach. That second one obviously would have moved the chains, would have been fantastic. And we're seeing some heads drop. I think halftime couldn't get here quick enough for the Stallions.
Yeah, so Henry Marsh is back to return. You can see the Aztecs punt team. They are primed and ready. They want that block. And here they all come up the middle. The punt is just about away. It bounces and stops at around about the 50-yard line. Bobbles forward to about the 45. And inside of 2 minutes, there's going to be an opportunity for the Aztecs to put even more points on the board as we edge closer to halftime.
Yeah, and you know they're going to take it. We all know that there'll be a rolling clock if it gets to 35 points to 0. They've already missed a 2-point conversion. I'm sure on offense, the coaches, the head coach, everybody in their mind are looking to put up 35 before this half is over.
Max Holland checks in for his first snaps on offense for the day for the Aztecs. And he's going to be singled up on the right-hand side of the bottom of your screen. Adrian McConaughey comes onto the field late for the Wembley Stallions. They're showing pressure here on 1st down as Gretzinger steps back to throw, but straight away he is met. Nathan Williams comes through the line of scrimmage. Ethan Gretzinger doesn't know what's happened. There's a timeout called by the Aztecs, and it's 2nd down and long.
Timeout taken. Bristol, 3rd and final timeout of the half.
Yeah, we'll see it again here as Nathan Williams sheds the block on the outside. Great swim move for him. That is a big guy. Ethan Gretzinger might not know what hit him, but he'll certainly remember it tomorrow. And there is Nathan Williams. Great play from him. And as that play was developing, he just didn't allow for the receivers to make the space that Ethan needed on the outside. That's when having a quality defensive backfield really helps your pass rush, because it means that the quarterback has to take that little bit longer to look for these passes, to make these passes, and it lets that pass rush get there, even against such a good offensive line like the Aztecs have.
Wicks Ricketts presiding over the defensive huddle there. He's brought pressure consistently and successfully for the Stallions, so we'll need to see whether he's going to dial up another pressure look. Sean Cook has come back in. I wonder if he's going to stay in and be a hand there in pass protection. As it's a quick pass over to the left-hand side, Sam East cuts it up the middle. He's got space, he's got moves, he's got a 1st down and more, all the way down to the 30-yard line. What a play after the sack for the Aztecs.
Yeah, sorry, let me just pick my jaw off the floor. That was a fantastic play from Sam East. The pass from Ethan, high. Sam happened to go up to meet
it. The clock stops for the 1st down. Therefore, there is no 10-second runoff for number 9's helmet coming off.
Sorry, just letting the referees...
However, number 9 must leave the game for 1 play.
There we are, we're back to it. That gave me time to pick my jaw off the floor. As I say, Sam East, you said he had some space. I'd argue he didn't, and he still made magic happen.
1st down and 10 for the Aztecs on the 30-yard line. Gretzinger once again back to pass. He's got pressure from that man. Williams once again has to rush the throw. It's incomplete, and Nathan Williams is causing problems for that Aztecs offensive line.
Yeah, he's really finding his own here. He's finding his step. He's getting right in Ethan's face. And the thing is, Nathan Williams is a big man. You'll see him there. He's hard to miss, and that makes it harder for Ethan to make these passes.
Yeah, Keanu Ebanks has got his hands full today on the line there for the Bristol Aztecs. And again, a big 2nd down. We keep saying how there are these big downs for the Aztecs, and it always seems that they are able to come up with some chunk yards as AJ Carr checks in for his first snaps on offense. He's at the top of your screen.
And it's a rollout to the right for Gretzinger. He was looking for Henry Marsh. The ball just out of his grasp. And you saw the little rollout there. I wonder if that affected the balance and mechanics there. It was a play that could have been made, but falls incomplete and brings up third down.
Yeah, I mean, he's off balance there. I would also think that maybe, you know, he's leading his receivers a little bit too much at the moment. That pass was behind, maybe a bit of an over-adjustment from Ethan that unfortunately led to another incompletion.
Third down and 10 for the Aztecs. We are under a minute. We have about 24 seconds left. No timeouts left for the Aztecs. So they've got to really think about what happens. If this play is completed in bounds, you're going to see a real hurry up for them to get another play off as Gretzinger back to pass. He finds Josh Brees over to the right-hand side. Brees is trying to get out of bounds. He makes a move in order to be able to do that. And that's the experience you get from Josh Brees, who's played college ball and university ball over here at the UE Bullets, knew exactly the situation and what he was supposed to do.
Yeah, and even though, as the Stallions, you're a little bit disappointed with that play coming through, they did the right thing of ushering him to the sideline. Yeah, it gives the Aztecs time, but we've seen what Josh does if you let him bounce to the inside, and they were not letting that happen again.
So, fourth down, the clock stops at 17 seconds. So remember, inside of 2 minutes, when we play college rules here in the UK, a first down will move the chains and stop the clock. So an opportunity for the Aztecs to continue the drive, but they need to get that first down. And there are 4 yards to go here as the Wembley Stallions make some noise on their sideline. Gretzinger rolls to the left, sets, looks back to the right-hand side. We've seen this play before. It's Sam East on the backside post. Rian Hudson has gone back to that play that he loves so much. Touchdown, Aztecs!
Yeah, and what a pitch and catch all round. Ethan had a lot of time there, was able to roll out, set his feet, throw to the other side of the field. We'll see it here in the replay. Starts to roll out to his left, looks back to his right, sets himself. That ball, fantastic in flight, straight in the hands of Sam East. Nearly gets a bit too up close and personal with the goalpost, but comes down with a touchdown just in time before we get to the half.
Yeah, Sam East able to dodge the football post-looking goalpost there. Does a little bit of a juke move on them, and now we see a big set here. We've got quads to the right for the Aztecs. Swinging gate play here. Bailey takes the snap. He's got a player in his face straight away. He's got to throw it over to the right-hand side. All hell breaking loose here as that man, Nathan Williams, disrupts the play entirely, and the play goes incomplete. That was crazy.
Yeah, there's bits of plays, you see it in the NFL, usually in fail compilations, where the offensive line get moved and there's nobody blocking, like 6 people on the defensive line. That's what that felt like. Don't know what was planned there, and nothing came of it anyway, so 33-0.
Yeah, Rian Hudson really opening up the 2-point play part of his playbook. Try saying that 5 times fast. I can't even say it 1 time normally, and it is a kickoff here for the Aztecs. So we've got about 4 seconds left. So one would imagine that after this kick, we will be going to half-time, and it will be the turn of our young people over there on that far side who are going to be putting on a flag football display for us here on the Shaftesbury Park turf. Jackerman gets us underway. It's Clark who gets underneath the ball at the 10-yard line. Moves it back over to the left-hand side, but then realizes his blocking hasn't set up the way he wants it to. He's brought down there by a number of different Aztecs. Harry Buckland, Harry Ward in on the tackles there. And that takes us all the way to half-time.
There are 2 seconds remaining in the half, 2 seconds.
It doesn't take us all the way to halftime. And what it does, it gives us 1 more down. Thank you very much for that, Jed Brooks-Lewis. It gives us 1 more down. All of that running around, I thought that was 4 seconds worth of time.
Yeah, he gave it a go. Unfortunately, this Aztecs coverage team, too fast. Got there too quickly for your for that line to be correct.
And I'm going to get a slap wrist from Christian. I haven't predicted any flags, but I predicted the clock to my detriment. As we have a knee there from Ted Watts, and that will indeed.
This is the end of the first half.
That will indeed end it for us here. So
As the Aztecs go into the locker room and the Wembley Stallions follow in due course, we'll be sending it down to the sideline in a moment or two. But thoughts on the game there, Craig, that first half from the Aztecs?
Yeah, I mean, I think the Aztecs did very well there. I don't think the offense was firing on all cylinders like we're used to seeing on these streams. They are dealing with a Stallions defense that have done a great job of disrupting things in the backfield, really disrupting Ethan's pass rhythm. I would say on defense, though, the Aztecs have come here to play. You said the goal is to not score a point for the rest, to not allow a point scored on them for the rest of the season. They're already 1/2 out of 4 to making that happen.
So it was a slow start by the Aztecs, but they were able to get their things sorted. They were able to get rolling on both offense and defense, and so gives us a chance now to send it down to the sideline. Katie is alongside Russ Hewitt. Katie, the halftime show is yours.
As a special feature this halftime, we are showcasing a flag football competition. And this game is brought by Hans Prince Academy, the under-13s and under-15s. Now that is an academy based in Weston-super-Mare, so a very local academy to us. Now the under-13s have even made the National Schools Flag finals for the last 2 years. And to discuss the game in more detail, I'm so pleased to be joined here by Russ Hewitt. Russ, how are you doing? How have you found the game so far today?
Oh, the game's been amazing. The Aztecs are on fire, so it's really good to see. And then the young ones are now going to show us their game.
They definitely are. Now you're working for BAFA, World Federation, NFL Flag to support developing athletes, coaches, refs, and of course in preparation for the Olympics as well, qualification there. How long have you been involved in flag football?
Flag football, I first played 2001. But I've been around the smaller format probably for 15 years now. Really emphasised on the Olympic side the last 3 or 4 years.
And how have you seen this game grow over that time?
It's unbelievable. This gets into schools real quick. It's a non-contact version. In Australia, we had a great success with regard to getting 100,000 children playing in schools. The NFL have been here for a while, and they're doing the same thing. And now the Aztecs are looking to grow with our players actually teaching. So Chris Green, who scored a number of touchdowns, this is his team. And they represented Bristol, and they've done stuff for NFL Flag, so this is where it grows from.
It must be such an inspiration for the kids to be led by Chris Green, who is, such an amazing player for the Aztecs. Do you think it must be great to be able to look up to him?
Without doubt, him leading by example and running around and showing them the game. I think them seeing him today is going to emphasise what he knows about the game, and that's how we grow. We want teachers, we want parents, we want people to jump the fence, come and help coach these young ones, and just let them play.
You mentioned Australia. Tell me about what you were getting up to down under.
So my job initially was to go over and coach in schools. We got 100,000 kids playing, like I mentioned before. But we had to build the Olympic program. So we got out before the Paris Olympics and the announcements. We built a program, talent identification, found players. Didn't have an Australian team when I went. And now we're 8th in the world in the men's. The women are 10th in the world. We won some medals in the Asia Oceania, and now they're going to represent, along with a couple of Aztecs players, or possibly Aztecs players, they're representing Great Britain, and they're going to play against the top 16 nations in the world, and that's in August in Germany.
Incredible, very exciting stuff. Can you tell us a bit about the game that's going to be played behind us today?
So the young ones, they're in red and yellow jerseys. It's more of a passing, running, evasion game. They're going to play on a field which is 50 yards long and 25 yards wide. That means they get 4 attempts, 4 downs, they're just about to start now, to get to the first orange cone halfway. They can do that by running or throwing forward once. And it's all about tagging. So we take away the physicality of what we're watching here today, and now they're going to tag and pull the tags or intercept or play like that. And then they get another 4 goes to score. So it's all about evasion, catching, speed and agility.
And what positions are included in a flag football team?
We start with the centre, and that's a snapper, and that's really important because they can blitz and send one player to attack the quarterback to pressure. It's probably a 2.5 second burst of games. They don't get long to play. They centre snaps to the quarterback, and they have 3 receivers or running backs. That's the offensive side. Defensively, like I mentioned, they have a blitzer, 1 person to rush, and then they have 4 DBs, linebackers, safeties to play coverages. Coach Green is out there now, teaching them how they're going to play and the plays, and that's how it goes. And it's just quick possession, very like a basketball game. Small court. This game came from the Second World War with troops trying to stay active, whether it's a basketball court, an aircraft carrier, and that's where the game grew. So Japan's amazing. Surprisingly, Germany and Austria are really good, and the Americans blow the doors off everything. So it's really exciting, fast-paced game.
Let's talk Olympics. What is that qualification process like, and what's been your involvement in that?
I'm working on data and statistics, making sure that the average fan knows exactly what's active. So we're working towards LA 28. Coming up in August is the World Championships, IFAF for the World Federation. The best 3 teams in that tournament automatically qualify. And then everyone else goes through their continental competition in 2027. And there's a Q series in Montreal and Orlando in 2028 for LA. So it's really exciting, but they can book your ticket early. So our Great Britain women are 3rd in the world. And then it's Mexico, Canada, America are hosts, so they're automatics. So 3 this year, and then 3 in 2028.
That's really exciting stuff. Let's turn around and have a look at what's happening on the field. Can you talk us through what's going on, what Chris Green might be talking to his team about?
So Coach Chris has play cards for them, whether they have it on their wrist or he's standing. So we're yellow on offense. So they're trying to move the ball effectively, trying to get to the halfway mark. That's the evasion, that's the skill. Off he goes and touchdown, just like that. So yellow have scored 6 points. Now they're going to get 1 point attempt from the 5, or they can go for 2 from the 10, and that's the extra point. So there'll be 1 more defense, and then we'll flip back. Red will be back on offense.
Now, NFL Flag do a lot to support the development of the game in this country. Can you talk a bit about the opportunities that they provide, particularly school-age kids?
So any school can contact NFL Flag, particularly in the secondary school group. These are 13s and under 15s, but they can play British competitions. If they represent and win the British competition, the NFL will then take them to America for the Super Bowl events. There's one championship going on this July, so all the top teams are represented. So it's really important, if anyone's here that wants to play, talk to their schools, contact NFL Flag, get in touch with the Aztecs, because they want to help too, build up more and more community here. But that's really the way. Get into NFL Flag, get your school playing. They will help your teachers learn the game. They'll help parents jump the fence, and I mean by coming over, helping coach, and they build it that way. And
how much of football, flag football, how important is that as a kind of development pathway into contact football?
They take the passing, the catching, the running backs, the evasion, all the defensive movements. So they take everything apart from the physical contact. So the Lions aren't involved in this, but as you start growing from this game up to under 13s, the still flag goes on to adult level in UK, but you can then jump for the under 16s, put a couple of linemen in and off you play, and then you can get up to under 19s, you add 3 linemen, and then you're getting closer and closer to the real game. So it's only about preparing them for tackling and blocking, and this is the core skills of the American football game. Throwing the ball and catching is the exciting part.
Great. Russ, shall we have a little walk over to see what's happening in the field? So can you talk us through what might be happening at the moment?
So it's just beginning a set of plays, got a new quarterback in. He's about to snap the football, handoff, so they try to run the ball, and then the yellow swarmed and tagged. So it's about how we move the ball. You're really trying to get 6 yards every play to get your 4 attempts, because you've got to go 20 yards to get halfway, and then we've got to go 25 more to score. So it's more of a vertical stretch, throw the ball. But if you can get them with a bit of trick and evasion and running, that's this thing. So now he's going to throw, trying to get someone open over the top, incomplete, and that's the game. I coach kindergartners at this, and the quick turnaround of opportunities, how they communicate, how they have to talk and be on the same page, all adds to the camaraderie of the game. And it really is a unisex game. We're all boys out here right now, but the girls do well, and being part of it and telling a boy what to do is also a good part for them as well.
You mentioned communication there. I can imagine that for developing the kids' soft skills as well, like teamwork and communication, of course, it must be really important for that, like team sports generally, but also flag football in particular.
I think the things what the teachers get excited about, where they can see that someone can grow in the spot, they can work and build towards taking leadership opportunities and build from there.
Thank you. We've actually also been joined by Spike from the Bristol Pitbulls, who is around. He's over there. Alex, if you want to get a close-up. He's coming over. He didn't want to miss out on the football action.
Go, go, go! Oh, that's an interception. That was an interception. How you doing? How you doing, Spike?
So, Russ, talk us through what just happened there.
Yellow intercepted the ball. Now the game is to stop people jumping on the floor. Fumbles happen. So he caught the ball and it was knocked out of his hands, but he kept possession because he had possession of the football. If they run around and drop the ball, it doesn't matter. If the quarterback's under pressure, they can spike the ball in the ground to reset their play. We don't dive on the ball. We don't want any injuries like that, and that removes the contact. There's also some parts like they have right of place, right away. They don't run into each other. It's part of the game, non-contact version.
And in terms of tactical speak, like RPOs, do you still have those kinds of gameplays and things like that in flag football for kids?
That's the unique part of it. So for most of the world, it's brand new. So trying to find ways to deceive the defense, there's not a lot they can do with 4 players. It's a small field, there's not a lot they can do. So you can see if they're in man-to-man or if they're in zone. And then you've got to find ways to take advantage of that, where you create layers of space or get people open. It's such a fun game. We talk about the skill, teach the players the skill, and let the coaches coach. And if you get really good players, they can work the plays out themselves, because that's the fun.
Definitely.
Oh. Unfortunately, it's dropped, but they don't lose possession. They get another go, so we're coming up with a next possession. And you can work 3rd down. So we've got 2 more attempts to try and get halfway. A real tight, great game going on. Coaches getting them all coordinated, giving them a play call. And then they're going to go from there. Defensively, they're talking. We've got to change the blitzer. Now, this blitzer's got a 7-yard. He's got to be 7 yards away with his hand up to show he's coming. So he can get there in about 1.5 seconds to 2 seconds. That's how quick the pass has to go. Pass off, complete. Juking, running. He's gone. Here we go, touchdown, yellow. Excellent, excellent. So now they're going to line up and have an extra point. Great fun. Well, going for 2, and this will probably be one of the last plays of the game, but it's phenomenal to see these young men run around. We'll bring them all over, and everyone in the stands can give them a round of applause.
Absolutely, they deserve it, don't they? And it's brilliant to have them down watching the game too.
That's it. You grow the game from this. They bring their parents, more people come watch. We want to try and get this going in the off-season. The Aztec community can keep things going. So please get in touch if you've got any children and schools want to get involved. The Aztecs will support that. There you go, extra point goods. Coach Green, if you bring them over, we're going to celebrate everything over here.
And how can people get in touch?
So they can contact the Aztecs directly, NFL schools programs. I think that's the best way of reaching out. We'll make sure over the next few weeks we have some QR codes and information so people can get in contact with us direct. I'll be here all afternoon, so you can come and talk to me. I'll make sure I'm near the barrier. So grab me at any time and we can talk about what anyone's interested.
Perfect. Thank you, Russ.
One play, and then we'll get them in.
One more play. Can we get some more commentary?
One more play. I'm just going to get over and get Coach Green after this play to bring everyone in so we can give them a round of applause.
Shaftesbury Park, please make some noise for the pupils of Hans Prince Academy who have just played that fantastic game of flag football. Congratulations, well done, guys. Andrew, Craig, can you hear me?
Hooping and hollering and getting excited for flag.
Absolutely, it's a fantastic addition to the halftime show to have a demonstration, right?
Well, yeah, and I think we might have missed a trick there, because if we've got 2 mascots, we need the mascots to either go one-on-one, or we need a mascots race, or we need something for the mascot. I mean, wrestling, Craig. We could have a little wrestling match with the mascots. That'd be fun as well.
Oh, absolutely. Let me come in. I'll referee it. The Nando's chicken looked like a bit of a heel to me, despite the fact that they do wonderful work here with the Aztecs.
And then you get the table out, the ladders, you drop the elbow off the ladder, the crowd go wild. It's everything you want from an American football game.
Oh, I can see it now. You pull out the Nando's sauce to pour over them before you go through the chicken. Can chickens fly? We'll find out when they dive off the ladder through the table. That would have been fantastic.
Well, I have to say, guys, I caught little bits and bobs of that. Essentially, we're talking about the pit bull versus the chicken, right? Like.
Yeah, we're doing WWE at Shaftesbury Park is essentially what we're creating.
Okay.
It's tables, ladders and chairs between the mascots here.
See, I think, not to just put another animal in the mix, but I think the chicken's actually a dark horse, to be honest.
Hey, listen, we all love an underdog. You'd think with feathers, with wings, he wouldn't be able to get a good hold of the pit bull, but you never know. Once he gets that wing around him into a headlock, it would have been dangerous.
You really do never know. Right, back over to you guys in the booth for the second half.
How do we top that? How do we top that? So welcome back into the booth here at Shaftesbury Park. I mean, the cloud comer has come over, so it's a little less sweaty and a bit hot boxy for us here. But we've had a very interesting first half. We've had swings on both sides, haven't we, Craig? I mean, the Wembley Stallions at times have really put the sword to the Aztecs. There have been big sacks, there have been opportunities on interceptions, but you just see the clinicality of the Aztecs and being able to put it together when the chips are down.
Yeah, I mean, I think the big thing is the consistency, right? It was mentioned at the start. The Stallions have been able to show here and there that they're able to hang with the Aztecs. It's just not on every single down in that first half, and it needs to be the case. You're going up against the defending national champions. You need to be able to do that every down, and as you can see from the scoreline, they were unable to achieve that.
Absolutely, and for James Wilford, he'll be happy. His defense is still sitting on a 0, but in the first game earlier on in the season, that's exactly what it was at halftime as well, and they ended up putting 20 points on the Aztecs later on in the second half. So definitely things for the Aztecs to keep going on. And for Rian Hudson's offense, I wonder if we will be seeing Lewis Benzie coming in and taking over the reins at quarterback.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. I mean, you showed the offensive leaders across the whole league. Benzie's up there, I think he's probably 6th or 7th in passing yards because he's been able to come into these games to show off that arm. And it's like we said, right? It's important. We're hitting the meat of the season, and sometimes Ethan might not go down, and you need to make sure Benzie's ready to get up and play football. So I believe we will see him at some point in this game.
So just to take you back to that opening coin toss, the Wembley Stallions chose to receive first. So it will be the Aztecs offense who come out to start the second half. So it'll be a chance for them really to put the sword to the Stallions and then put it into that running clock situation. A gap of 35 plus in the second half gets that clock rolling, and all of a sudden time runs away with itself.
Yeah, football's a very, very quick game when it goes to a running clock, and the Aztecs know that better than anybody this season. They've been able to get a running clock so consistently, and like we say, once they start facing the Blitz, Coventry, Manchester, you need to have the backups ready to go. You need to be firing on all cylinders, and these running clocks, they need to make the most of every second they get in this half.
Absolutely they do. So as we are approaching the start of the second half, just gives me a chance to remind everybody about what is going on in the southwest of England this weekend. So we have Rock and Ribs taking place all weekend, and it is the ultimate American weekend. Rock and Ribs is happening at the Bath and West Showground in Somerset, and it brings you the UK's biggest celebration of American culture. There are monster trucks, live music, mouth-watering food, and so much more. Visit the website today to get your tickets, and don't miss out on tomorrow's action, because part of that action is going to be the Bristol Apache versus the Bournemouth Bobcats. That's going to be a 2 p.m. kickoff there. I know that the Apache are down today and are doing American football tryouts and have-a-goes, and
then they have their regular season game there tomorrow afternoon. So it sounds like a fantastic event. Give me monster trucks and barbecued food, Craig, and on there.
Yeah, and if that one was to be a wrestling match, my money would be on the monster truck, if I'm honest. No, it's going to be a good one. Rock and Rib's done a great job sponsoring the Aztecs all season. Good to see the Aztecs there. They've been doing well with social media posts that are attracting people to get there. And yeah, the game between the Bobcats and the Apache tomorrow will be a good one, a good way to cap off a great weekend.
Yeah, and it's a nice way to kind of highlight what is going down in Bristol with regards to American football, because obviously we have the Aztecs, who are the reigning champions, but they have a feeder team who are really closely linked. Head coach Pete Jones was the Apache head coach at one time before progressing up to the Aztecs, and it's so great to not only have this really high level of performance, but have an opportunity for people to come in, learn their craft, and then potentially move up later on as they progress in the sports.
Yeah, I mean, it's fantastic as well to show the camaraderie between the Aztecs and the Apache. Obviously, for most, if not all, the Apache players, the goal is to get here and be on this stage, and the fact that they get to try to achieve that through games is incredible.
So we're just having a little look at the first half highlights here. It started with Sam East over the top from Gretzinger, and a quick score on the board for the Aztecs.
Yeah, look at the height Sam East gets here, goes up, meets the ball at the highest point, comes down so safely with it.
Then into the second quarter we went, and it was Sam East once again. He took the swing pass from Gretzinger, got a huge block from Quinton Wimmer, and it was 2 up for the Aztecs.
Yeah, this is a great swing pass. You see Sam East fake it to the inside, go outside. Great ball block there from Quinton Wimmer. Easy touchdown for the Aztecs second.
And then Josh Brees doing Josh Brees things. It was a run to the right-hand side, and he ends up running it in on the left-hand corner.
Yeah, Josh Brees proving he'll run 20 yards to run 1, but he gets the touchdown in the end.
Then after that, Gretzinger back to pass once again. He was trying to find Chris Green many times, and then managed to find him in the slot for the 4th score on the day.
Yeah, that's a connection they've been looking for, and they got it just before the half.
So Wimmer takes the second half kickoff over the left-hand side. Stiff arms a man as he crosses halfway. A gaggle of Stallions bring him down. It was Lance McBeam who felt the stiff arm of Quinton Wimmer, and the Aztecs are going to be starting on the Wembley Stallions 43-yard line.
Is it a gaggle? Would it be a herd?
Yeah, it's probably a herd of Stallions would be the collective now, and I didn't do too well there.
No, but I tell you who did, Quinton Wimmer. What a run, what a stiff arm here. Gets that hand out, keeps on running, breaks the tackle, spins it back in, eventually gets tackled, but not after making fantastic inroads to the field.
So the Aztecs come out on offense, and Ethan Gretzinger stays in for the first drive of the third quarter. 2 receivers either side of the formation for Gretzinger here on this first down play, and it's going to be a pass on first down. But we've got whistles here from Jed Brooks-Lewis, and we'll wait for what the call is here.
Wembley, this is their first charge timeout of the half.
Got a sneaky feeling there that Wembley were attempting to start the drive with 10 men on the field as Jacob Beeman runs on, and I'm not good at maths, but 11 is better than 10, Craig.
It definitely is in this game, and that's not when you want to be using your first timeout, the first play of the game. You know, hopefully that's just a small hiccup and they managed to get their head in this game. Things have got a bit cooler here. Hopefully that leads to some cooler heads and some smarter decisions from this team.
Yeah, the haze has definitely come in across the hills over the back of Shaftesbury Park here. It's definitely cooled down both on the pitch and in the commentary box. Definitely not over on the far side by the home stand where the I think it's Brazilian cuisine is being fired up in the barbecue. So for all of the patrons here at Shaftesbury Park, there are some lovely meals to be had and lovely options to be had here as the Aztecs come back out on first down. Once again, 2 receivers either side of Gretzinger with Brees alongside him in the shotgun. Tommy Drain Weeks comes in motion as Brees gets the handoff over the right-hand side, spinning as the Wembley Stallions attempt to claw at that ball. It was Tyrese Peters-Tovey who had an arm in there, but Josh Brees is able to take the ball, and it will bring up second down for the Aztecs.
Yeah, I think a couple of scares in the first half have really meant Josh is working on that ball security. Look at that arm coming in. Josh gets his arm back around the ball, protecting it. Great job there from the Stallions to stop Josh before it got any further.
Yeah, Tyrese Peters-Tovey was trying his best there to try and get the ball out unsuccessfully, and it's second down and 3 here at the start of the third quarter. Pass for Gretzinger as he steps up to throw. Sam East over the middle. He's got space and he dives forward, makes a first down and much more as the ball is down to the 13-yard line, and a big first down for the Aztecs.
Yeah, unfortunately, we got a player down for the Stallions. He's able to get up to his feet, though. Looks like he's walking away. As we see this play again, look at Ethan step up. Does a great job there, does Sam, to turn around, secures the ball, gets that ball firmly into his possession before driving upfield and doing the smart thing, getting down before all 4 of those defenders took his head off.
Luke Agodo-Agbara was the player who was down, able to leave the field under his own steam, and now the Aztecs have the ball on the 13-yard line. Samis over to the far side of your screen alongside Chris Green on the left-hand side. 2 receivers either side of Gretzinger once again here. Gretzinger's going to roll to the left-hand side. Once again, he's going to look back to the backside, but just overthrows Quinton Wimmer. When you overthrow a man who's 6'4", you know that pass went slightly awry, and we've seen him come into that play multiple times, haven't we, Craig?
Yeah, I mean, Quinton Wimmer is such an athlete. Sometimes you're surprised he wasn't able to jump 20 feet across the field to make the grab. Ethan, it's a hard throw, right? When you're rolling out one way and you throw back the other, it is a hard throw. We've seen him connect on him. We've seen him miss. Unfortunately for Ethan, and unfortunately for the birthday boy, unable to connect on that one.
Absolutely. I'm sure there will be festivities aplenty for Quinton Wimmer tonight. But at the minute, it is second down and 10 for the Aztecs. Fake to Brees, out to Wimmer on the right-hand side, and whilst he couldn't score, he's diving to the end zone. He's trying to find the goal line. The arms go up from the officials. Touchdown, Aztecs!
Yeah, and it felt inevitable. It felt like the goal here was to get Quinton Wimmer a touchdown, and they achieved it. He had to do a lot of work there himself. Ethan just getting that ball off on that short pass as Quinton Wimmer does the rest of it, stays on his feet, reaches, using that tall frame, making every inch of it count.
Yeah, it was Martin Dwamina who had the angle on Quinton Wimmer, but it is an imposing challenge to bring him down in the open field. Quinton Wimmer was able to put the shake and bake on and into the end zone. Chris Green had to field that errant snap there. It was a blocked kick from Ash Bailey, and the extra point is incomplete. So it's 39-0 to the Aztecs, and that is going to bring up the running clock here early in the third quarter.
Yeah, and as we see the touchdown again, look at that. Just a little sidearm throw straight to Quinton Wimmer. Really good effort there on the tackle. Nearly takes him down, but ultimately Will Roman unable to stop the touchdown. But crucially, no extra point. So
yeah, the Aztecs have they've been experimenting with some of their two-point plays, but there, a bit of an errant snap. Chris Green did well to get it down, but that affected the timing for Ash Bailey, who is really a jack of all trades, played quarterback for the Bristol Pride in the Universities League. He's done a bit of receiver, he's done a bit of running back, and now he is trying out for kicking duties as Ollie Luck and Tom Bowering are not available today. Little pooch kick there by Jackerman. It's fielded on the 30-yard line. There's a little bit of a fumble there in the first instance by Akinyeri, and now he's able to take it up to the 35-yard line.
Yeah, a little bit of confusion that can happen with that second line on those kick returns. Not really sure what to do. You're like, hold on, I'm meant to be blocking this bad boy, and you got to try and catch it. Caught him off guard a little bit, but he was able to get the ball under control, make his way upfield, and looks like we'll be starting about the 34-yard line.
So first and 10 for
the Wembley Stallions here. A chance to come out and make a strong start. Remember, no points in that first game in the first half, but they were able to turn in a good offensive performance in the second half of that first game. They came from behind against Rushmore as well 2 weeks ago, so they are very comfortable at chasing leads in the second half. Ted Watts is back in the game at quarterback, and the first play is a handoff to the right-hand side for Josh Clark, and he's able to bully his way forward for about 3 yards on the play.
Yeah, and you know, like when things start to get out of hand, sometimes you just need to take a deep breath and go, what are we good at? We are good at smashing you in the mouth with our running game, and that's how they've started, with a nice little 3-yard gain on first down.
So 2nd down and 7 for the Wembley Stallions. As we said earlier, we are now in a running clock situation, so only turnovers of possession will stop the clock here until that 35-point gap is erased. Handoff again for Clark, and he's got space on the left-hand side now, over first down yardage and into Bristol Aztecs territory, taken down at the 47-yard line of the Aztecs by Chris Arena, and that's a big first down for the Wembley Stallions.
Yeah, and I tell you what, that kind of run off the edge of the O-line it's been tempting them all day. They tried it on first down. We see it here on 2nd down. Great seal block there as the Stallions make their way through. And that was Emmanuel Olagbaju on the seal block, doing a great job setting the tone and getting the Stallions into Aztec territory.
Some momentum here for the Wembley Stallions, so they are on first down. Watts is in the shotgun, and he's back to pass over to the left-hand side. He's got James Turner, who's forced out of bounds by 2 Aztecs, Arena and Harry Newman there on the tackle. About a gain of 6 on the play, and the Wembley Stallions are moving the ball here.
Hey, it's like what I said earlier, whether you believe in momentum or you don't, you are right. And this Stallion team are riding that momentum in to start this second half. Yes, they had to use a timeout early, but this offense going out there, making yards.
I think I'm going to use that. I really like that term. That's quite poignant. Use it either way. 2nd down and 4 for the Stallions. Under 10 minutes to go here in the third quarter as Clark gets the handoff, makes a man miss with a lovely cut there. It was Casper Henfrey who was into the backfield and looked to make a move, but all of a sudden was shaken baked out of his shoes by Josh Clark. 3rd down and 5 upcoming.
Yeah, you see him here. I think he does just enough. Gets his hand on the knee and causes him to run into his own player there, bringing up. This is a crucial 3rd down for this Stallion offense.
So once again, 2 receivers either side of Ted Watts, who is in the shotgun alongside Clark, and he's back to pass here on 3rd down. Rolls out to his left-hand side. He's going to take the ball himself. He's trying to find that first down marker. Met solidly by the cornerback, Chris Arena. They say that corners play there because they don't want to tackle, but no one's told Chris Arena that. He was able to put his shoulder in, and we wait on the spot from our officials. They've signaled first down, and that run moves the chains for Wembley.
Yeah, and you just see Ted Watts just not used to running, used to be back there and passing, you know. He might be a Stallion, but he might be a Stone Age pony with wanting to sit back there and throw. Shows off the legs, gallops for the first down, just enough, but keeps, like, more importantly, sets up a new set of downs.
He says nay to the Bristol Aztecs defense. Oh, God, no, that's awful.
We started now.
I know, right? I don't know where this is going to go. So, first down. The Aztecs showing blitz on both sides, but it's Clark running up the middle. He's got about a 5-yard gain up to the 30-yard line.
Yeah, we got a player down on the field for the Stallions.
So whilst we have a stoppage, just gives us a chance to remind you that at the end of this game, myself and Craig, we are going to be choosing the Meat VP, the New Manor Farm Shop Meat VP. So a big thank you once again to New Manor Farm for sponsoring today's Meat VP. They are an award-winning farm shop, butchers and deli, offering quality local produce and sustainable food across the region. So keep watching in the fourth quarter as we'll be naming our New Manor Farm Meat VP at the end of today's game. They will go home with a £50 meat basket and a lovely touch as part of it is not only do they go home, they get it delivered to their home, courtesy of Matt Van Stone at New Manor Farm Shop.
Oh, that is a lovely touch. But then again, the other alternative is to have it out in this heat for 4 hours before they take it home, and I'm sure it'd lose the meaning very quickly.
God, could you imagine flies descending upon the hamper? Fortunately, it stays in a nice, cool climate before being packaged and then taken to the meat VP, as Jack Johnson is able to be taken over to the sideline. So just to have a little look at where we are in the game, we've got 7 minutes, 24 seconds left, 2nd and 6. So the Wembley Stallions have really put on a nice little drive here to start the third quarter. Yes, the Aztecs have been repping some of their backups, but Adam Woodward still in the game, starting corner. Chris Arena is in the game as well. So it is not a weakened Aztec side. It's a chance for these backups to show why they should be playing and getting reps as well.
Yeah, absolutely. They need to show that they can be part of this well-oiled machine. They need to make some big plays here. Otherwise, we're going to go back to it not being a running clock, because this offense looked primed to score.
2nd down and 6 for the Stallions. Spread offense once again, with Ologbaju coming in motion, and Clark gets the handoff once again behind that motion, dragging Aztec players with him. I know there's a collective noun for horses. I'm not sure what the collective noun for Aztecs is, but that's a very powerful run from Clark.
Oh, well, if Clark keeps running into them like that, the collective noun is going to be a problem, because he might fumble that ball. He nearly dropped it there, but able to hold on and set up this 3rd down and short.
Yeah, Harry Ward able to reach behind him and try and claw the ball out. You can see that it's something that the Aztecs defense really pride themselves on and work on. That plus 16 turnover differential comes from plays like that, where they get their hand in and are desperately clawing at the ball. So 3rd down and short for the Stallions, a long one on the board for them as Dwyer comes in motion. Clark's going to run behind that motion, but it's Adam Woodward who's able to stand him up. Tiagia is there as well. That is a wall that Josh Clark was trying to run through. That pushes them back. It's going to be 4th down, and Warren Smart is keeping his offense on the field.
Yeah, you can't blame him. They've got the yards here. They've proven they can drive forward. Tiagia, like you say, just big body there. You don't say his name a lot. It's because he takes up bodies. He lets the other players come through and make the plays, but that time able to make a crucial stop on 3rd down.
We had a snippet of Katie's interview with T earlier in the day. That full interview is going to be going on YouTube in the week. A fantastic look into T's career and what he's been able to do as both a player and a coach. As on 4th down, a rumbling run from Emmanuel Ologbaju. That moves the change. That gives the Wembley Stallions a 1st down. Great play there for the Wembley Stallions running game.
Yeah, and they've shown it every single time. Even on the play that went backwards, what they've done is they've just ran headfirst into the players, into the blitz. They've just gone, we are going to out-physical you. And to start the 2nd half, they really are.
Sorry, Davin Abrahams was the runner there. It was Ologbaju on the lead block. But either way, the Wembley Stallions have a 1st down and momentum on their side. Ball spotted on the 24-yard line. It's going to be Watts again to pass. He takes off to run straight away up the middle, slides down at the 15-yard line. And that gives them a very nice and manageable 2nd down as they are into the red zone of the Bristol Aztecs.
Yeah, he looked a lot more comfortable on that run. I thought he might have a player over the middle. As we see the replay here, he looks like he might have some space. Made the decision to run, and it was a good decision as he makes a good amount of yards.
2nd down and 4. We're inside 5 minutes left in this 3rd quarter. It's been all Wembley Stallions moving the ball here as Watts again back to pass out to the right-hand side. He had Abdul Ahmed on the quick in and out of his hands it goes, incomplete, and brings up 3rd down.
Yeah, and you know what? I think Ahmed had the goal line in mind right there. He should have been an easy catch for the player. Really good throw. He was making a fantastic in route that would have led to having some space to find the end zone, and he knew that, and I think he just took his eyes off of making the catch first.
3rd down and 4 for the Wembley Stallions. Watts is back to pass, deep drop, he's got pressure, he's got Idrissa Fofana, he's got nowhere to go. Massive loss on the play.
Yeah, I mean, Idrissa, absolutely fantastic player. Definitely missed while he was off with injury. And, you know, we said his name a few times in the first half. We're saying his name again here with the sack. He causes problems. You have to plan against him. Look at him, just sheds the block easily, gets past the second level. And, hey, smart move right there from Ted Watts to just get down, because I've been tackled by Idrissa. It is not fun.
Yeah, it was Victor Alemade there who had the tough task at right guard. One-on-one with Idrissa Fofana, and straight into the backfield he went. So 4th down and 14 now for the Stallions as Aztecs back off into coverage. Watts fires for the end zone. Over the top he went. James Turner was the intended recipient on the pass. It falls incomplete, and the Aztecs are able to bend but not break, and it brings out the Aztecs offense.
Yeah, James Turner, you see the disappointment in his face. He showed a lot of athletic ability trying to get that ball. He'll want it back. There's a lot of Aztecs defenders just causing traffic as he reaches out. He gets his hands on it. Yep, he knows he should have caught that one.
Definite chance there for the Stallions to continue their drive, but now we will see Lewis Benzie coming in at quarterback for the Aztecs. His first play is to hand it off to Sam Hodge, and now Sam Hodge has got running room. He's over halfway across the 40. The ball comes out. It's dived on by the Wembley Stallions. Aaron Rush is able to come up with it. We'll wait for the call from the officials as to whether Sam Hodge was down.
No,
but by the look of it, it is going to be a turnover and a Wembley Stallions ball.
Yeah, I believe it was Luke Ogado with the tackle causing the fumble. You see him chasing him down. Does a fantastic job here. As we see this play going again, looks like it's going to be nothing. Straight to the races, as you will, as he makes his way through that start. Holds it up. Got that ball nice and tight. But yeah, Ogado coming through. Causes the fumble. Argument that the player is down. I wonder what the referees are going to say about this one. I think it might remain Aztec ball.
Yeah, so the Aztecs offense has stayed on the field. Sam Hodge is just down receiving treatment. And you can see it was a lovely play design. Braden Bice, a massive part of the Aztecs running game when he's in the game with the lead block. Tommy Drain Weeks in helping out there. And I'm not so sure. We've got the capacity for the slow motion replay, and on that freeze frame, great job by Tom in the truck there to show us. For my money, that looks like it's out.
Yeah, it's definitely close either way. The Aztecs have had a couple of close fumbles on offense. But yeah, great running, and great shout on the blocking that happened in that. The Aztecs with a double pull around the corner, and unfortunately, we are seeing Sam Hodge needing some help coming off the field after that play.
Just a point to make there as Sam Hodge is helped off. You saw Steve Hopkins, who, as a former Aztec, we did a big piece with him earlier in the season about his journey after being an Aztecs player, and it's great to see him on the sidelines and being incorporated into Pete Jones's coaching staff, and a chance for him to come back to the Aztecs and show all that he knew. What a legend for the Aztecs, alongside Mark and his dad as well, and some of those big names of Aztecs past. So first down for the Aztecs. Sean Vaughan gets the handoff over to the right-hand side, brought down by 2 Wembley Stallions. That was Pablo Mauricio and Luke Ogodu Avbara who bring him down. It's 2nd down and 13, and the Aztecs looking to hurry up here. Benzie takes the snap. He drops back to pass. He had pressure as he threw it, looking for Sam East on the right-hand side, and guess who was coming through once again? That's Nathan Williams.
Yeah, Nathan Williams was right in Benzie's face right there. Didn't let him set, didn't get his feet, and you saw that in the pass. He just kind of put it up, high arcing ball that could have gone anywhere. Kind of a little bit lucky that that one just fell incomplete.
So with the running clock, we get one play off before the end of the third quarter. It's a quick screen out to Sam East. He's wrapped up there straight away. It's going to be 3rd down and long to start the 4th quarter for the Aztecs, and that is going to bring on the punt team.
Yeah, I mean, that was a great job from the Stallions. You just see them absolutely flood where the ball's going. I believe it was Aaron Rush in the end that makes the tackle. They did a great job on that 3rd down and forcing this punt.
So that, I do believe,
this is the end of the 3rd quarter.
Brings up the end of the 3rd quarter for our game here. It's 39-0 for the Bristol Aztecs against the Wembley Stallions. And we're going to send it down to Katie, who's going to talk to us a little bit more about those statistical leaders, this time on defense, Katie.
Absolutely. If you want to talk about the defense, then, I mean, look at the scoreboard, right? They're still got a 0 with the Wembley Stallions. Now, let's talk about the leaders for the scheme. So we have Adam Woodward, of course, who is joint first, and then the rest of the defence's players, and that top 5 are all Bristol Aztecs players, with teammates Trafford Ali, Niall Ashworth and Fred Smith just swarming the rest of the top 5. The relentless edge pressure is exactly why the Aztecs are the most feared defensive unit in the league right now. Back up to you guys in the gantry to talk about how you can break that down.
I mean, it's just numbers. I mean, I'm a PE teacher, but that's a lot of sacks, Craig. There's a lot of pressure.
It is a lot of sacks. It's a lot of pressure, and I think it directly relates to the, no Aztecs being in that interception leader, because what's happening is the defensive front are getting to the quarterback before he gets a chance to throw it up. So I think the sacks show how well they work as a unit and how daunting it can be to face this defensive line and linebackers.
So Braden Bice long snapping, and Ash Bailey checks in as the punter for the Aztecs. Punt is away and in the air towards that right-hand side. We look for the bounce. It's going to bounce just into the end zone, and the Wembley Stallions will come out with the ball on the 20-yard line.
Yeah, and I believe that was Javier Laidley really got close there to stopping that ball down at the 1-yard line for the Aztecs. Really good punt, really good pursuit. Unfortunately, the kick just went a little bit too long. Could have done with just a fraction of a second more air time. But as we say, the Stallions have got a very, very long way to go if they want to put some points on the board.
So the Wembley offense comes back out, ball spotted on the 20. Warren Smart was talking in the week about how he felt like at times they were behind the 8 ball with field position, especially with special teams. Unfortunately, it's the Aztecs defense that has put them behind the 8 ball here today, as Henry Flint checks back in as quarterback for this drive for Wembley. Flint drops back. He's got Fofana in his face. There's a flag thrown. We'll check on that. I believe there might have been some contact in that offensive backfield. The pass went incomplete, but we'll check in with Jed Brooks-Lewis to see what the call was there.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, 53 of the defense, blow to the quarterback's head. 15-yard penalty brings up automatic 1st down.
So yeah, you saw it there. Fofana was around the edge, and as Flint went to throw, too much contact there on the quarterback, and any contact around the head is going to be an easy flag for the officials.
Yeah, they're looking out for it. They'll find it. Sometimes it can be difficult to control Drissa, unfortunately, on the wrong end of that one. But once again, saying his name for being an absolute menace to the opposing quarterback.
So 1st down for the Wembley Stallions here. Flint back to pass over to the right-hand side, looking for Abdul Ahmed. And that is incomplete, but we have another flag on the play. Very few flags at the start of the game.
Personal foul, hands to the face, number 74 of the defense. Number 58 may remain in the game as his helmet came off as a result of a foul.
So that is Rashid Sakiragima, who is going to be having that 15-yard penalty assigned to him. So that's 30 yards of movement for the Wembley Stallions. And I know my maths isn't good, but they started on the 20, 30 yards, ball's placed on the 50. I've got that one pretty set.
Yeah, you absolutely nailed that one. I'm glad you took that one. I still would have made a mistake somehow. The only thing I'd be able to figure out that is not what the Aztecs wanted from this drive.
I have been flummoxed so much by numbers in the booth here this year. So very happy that I got that addition right, and it's a first down for the Wembley Stallions on halfway as Flint drops back to pass Adam Woodward right in his face. The ball goes incomplete, and Adam Woodward was very close to getting his second sack on the day.
Yeah, and very close to adding to that total that we just saw from Katie. Fantastic off the edge. I mean, what could you say more than he just absolutely drilled the quarterback. Very unlucky for him not to get a sack, but it will be second down.
Big a shout out to defensive coordinator James Wilford there, who was ready to take the ball up the sideline. The only thing he forgot that he wasn't wearing a helmet and shoulder pads and wasn't registered as a player. But apart from that, he had it down to a T.
I don't think that was going to stop him.
Second down and 10 for the Wembley Stallions. Flint hands it off up the middle. It's Derek Mbar. He had a turn of pace on him there, but he also had an Adam Woodward on him as well. And it's going to be third down and 10 for the Wembley Stallions.
Yeah, 2 plays in a row we're saying Adam's name here, and just look at how he just pursuit, drives down, doesn't let the runner have any time, just dives on his back, pulls him down.
Boris Poinarov comes back in at quarterback for the Wembley Stallions here on third down.
Yeah, and they're going to want to make something happen here. They'll probably be punting the halfway line, 10 yards to go. It's a difficult choice.
And the center for Poinarov as Dwyer comes in motion across the formation. It's a handoff to Mbar. Real turn of base. He lowers the shoulder there. Great initiating of contact for him there. Hawken Hall was the safety who made the tackle.
Yeah, and you know, with that run, just an absolutely powerful run, and we saw it on the first drive that the Stallions had in this second half. Just that smash mouth football, it's been working well for them. They're able to make yards, and of course now fourth and manageable, they've got to go for it.
Cody Golding helped out on the tackle there. Fourth down and 4 yards to go for the Stallions as it's a handoff to the fullback. They needed to make 4. It was Oleg Baju who took the handoff, but he wasn't able to get anything there. And on that fourth down play, it's a turnover on downs for the Wembley Stallions.
Yeah, great job there from the Aztec front, just getting into the backfield quickly. I believe it's number 95, Marcelo Timas, who just big body, gets himself up. You see him getting held a little bit there and just makes that crucial tackle as everybody else holds on and causes that turnover on downs.
So the Aztecs come out on offense, ball spotted on the 43-yard line, and it's Joe Zabiner who starts it off for the Aztecs, rumbling forward for a gain of 5 yards on first down, and we're going to see this no-huddle offense with the running clock being used here in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, let's see what they can do when they're not going to the coaches.
Another Zabina run on second down to the left-hand side, and he gets ever closer to the first down marker. Talked about yards per carry for these Aztecs running backs. Joe's averaging over 7.5 yards a clip on his 18 carries to date so far this year. Third down and short. He gets the third down carry as well, out to the right-hand side on the edge, able to make the first down, and the Aztecs are moving at speed.
Yeah, and this is important. This is a skill, right? To be able to move the ball quickly, to be able to get the ball down, line up in formation, make a play, make something happen. These are skills you need when it comes to the playoffs.
4 plays in a row for Joe Zabiner up the right-hand side, behind the block there of Paul Potter. It's going to be second down and short.
Yeah, just give him the ball again. Do it.
In 10-pin bowls, you get a turkey for 3. I'm not sure what you get for 5, but whatever you would get, that's 5 in a row for Joe.
Well, in that time, you got a loss of yards. Unfortunately, the Stallions able to, unfortunately for the Aztecs, good for the Stallions, getting into the backfield and stopping that, bringing up third down.
The down box marker man is really struggling to keep up with this offense. It's third down and 5. It's Sean Vaughan who rumbles forward. That's going to go out to about the 36-yard line. A yard short of first down yardage, but with the success that the Aztecs have had on offense on fourth down, we'll see what comes here as the Stallions show pressure. Sean Vaughan tries to find that line. He dives forward. And the spot is good. That's going to move the chain for the Aztecs. This is a very speedy drive here in the third quarter.
Yeah, they're really pushing it here, really trying to make things count. And Sean Vaughn, an absolute beast of a man. You put that ball in his hands, he keeps those legs pumping, he'll get you that yard.
Ryan Hudson calling the signals in from the sideline. Benzie sets up in the shotgun on first down. It's a handoff again to Vaughn. This no-huddle offense is really featuring the run. And he's good there for about 4 yards.
Yeah, and when you're getting 4 yards, there's no need to stop. Just keep running. Make the Stallions stop you.
Matriculating the ball downfield are the Bristol Aztecs as Benzie fires it out to the right-hand side. He had Henry Marsh on the quick screen, but that's a tackle for a loss by the Wembley Stallions. It's Luca Godu of Barra on the tackle, and that brings up a 3rd and long.
Yeah, and once again, these defensive backs showing that they're an issue. If you want to throw to their man, they'll make tackles, they'll get in the way.
3rd and 12 for the Aztecs. Benzie back to pass. Looks over to the right-hand side. Little bit of a confusion there. Henry Marsh stopped. Benzie threw it over his head. That's going to bring up 4th down, and we'll see whether the Aztecs want to stay on the field. They do. Hudson gives the call. The offense stays on the field. It's 4th and long.
Yeah, I'm sure they've got a few plays in the playbook for this. Kind of down in distance.
Benzie back to pass over the left-hand side. He was looking for Drain Weeks. It falls incomplete, and that's a turnover on downs for the Aztecs.
Yeah, it just felt like Weeks stopped his route there. Looked like he was open, looked like he'd have the space to run for the first down, but just pulled up a little. I think Benzie was expecting him to carry on running as well. And the Stallions getting ready here, getting themselves up, making some substitutions. They've shown that they can move the ball this half. Can they score some points? They believe in themselves. Can they prove it and do it on the scoreboard?
First down and 10 for the Wembley Stallions. Poinarov is back to pass. Loads it up to the left-hand side. He was looking for James Turner. That falls incomplete. And it brings up 2nd down.
Yeah, we're just seeing some wayward passes from all the quarterbacks here at the moment. Little, you know, he's got the man. He had the man there, but the pressure just got to him, and that was lucky to not be intercepted.
Yeah, interesting. You see the Aztecs favoring the run, and now Wembley are really unloading their playbook on the passing side and trying to make some splash plays here in the 4th quarter. Poinarov lines up in the spread, 2 receivers either side. Drops back to pass, over to the right he goes. He was looking for Jonathan Dwyer. Dwyer wasn't expecting the ball to come to him that early, but the pressure up the middle from Charlie Dace meant that Poinarov needed to get the ball out quickly. And again, another incomplete pass brings up 3rd down.
Yeah, and Josh Jackman, the safety there for the Aztecs, will be disappointed to not come up with the interception. Looked to just fall into his breadbasket. Unfortunately, he might have a gluten intolerance because he did not want to catch that ball. And this is 3rd down now. Big 3rd down here for the Stallions.
So spread again. The Aztecs drop into a deep cover 3 as Poinarov. He was pressured there. He had Ramari Bennett in his face. Almost threw it away there. Didn't have any time to set his feet. 3 passes and a 3 and out for the Wembley Stallions.
Yeah, and the Stallions just playing it smart here, not giving the Aztecs field position. 10 yards is a long way to go, so they might as well just punt it and see what the defense can do to try and get a turnover.
So punt team come on for the Stallions. Lance McBeam back to punt, and we haven't called his name too much for a while. Max Holland is back to return. He's stationed and ready and primed on the 20-yard line as McBeam gets the ball up in the air. But it's a short kick. It's higher than it is far. It gets a slightly favorable bounce and then down and spotted at the 44-yard line.
Yeah, and the player there just picking it up, you can't blame him. We've seen it a few times this season from the Aztecs where a punt has gone short, looked like it was going to be dead, and the returner just coming through, picking it up, saying thank you very much, making some yards. So might as well just stop it before you allow anything like that to happen.
So hold on to your hats, because the Aztecs are back on the field, and it's going to, I imagine it is going to be another no-huddle drive for them as AJ Carr gets the first down pass, and he is breaking tackles and making moves into Wembley territory. He goes down at the 37-yard line. Big run and catch for AJ Carr.
Yeah, AJ Carr's a really exciting player. You see a little bit of what he's capable here on this play. Fantastic throw and catch.
As the chains move, it's first down for the Aztecs, and Benzie hands it off to Ash Bailey, who's met immediately by a herd of Stallions. The ball came out, collected and dived on by Sean Vaughan there very astutely, keeps the drive going, but Ash Bailey was met almost as soon as he had the ball there.
Yeah, Edno Mauricio just coming through, making a great tackle, causing some chaos in the backfield. Lucky for the Aztecs to keep the ball.
Second down and 14 for the Aztecs on offense. Benzie quickly back to pass. Low ball to AJ Carr. He catches it. That's good for about 2 yards on the play. And it brings up third down and 12.
This is the 2-minute warning. Wembley have 2 timeouts. Bristol have 3.
So Aztecs have 3 timeouts left here in the 4th quarter, and they have a third down that they need to deal with here first. Bailey gets the handoff, tries to cut forward and make some yards on the play, gets back to the original first down marker, and the offense will stay on the field, and it's 4th down for the Aztecs offense.
Yeah, Edney Mauricio doing a great job there, making the tackle in the backfield. The offense staying out. This is a very, very long 4th down, but only a couple minutes to go, so understand the decision.
Benzie drops back to pass. He's looking for AJ Carr over the left-hand side. It was a diving attempt from Carr. Would have been good for a first down, but it's incomplete, and it brings up a turnover on downs. Now, gives us a chance just to take our breath and talk Meet VP, Craig. I think at half-time we were in agreement about who had done enough to earn that award. So would you like to announce who our Meet VP is for the day?
Yeah, I think for anybody that's tuned in for the whole game, there'll be no surprise that the Meet VP is going to Sam East. Done a fantastic job, great receiver, not only just getting up in the air, catching the ball, showing it with his legs with the ball in hand as well. He's really shown what he's capable of, and the rest of this Aztec team have followed his lead today, so a worthy winner of the Meet VP in my eyes.
Yeah, there were arguments that Sam East could have won it for his 3-touchdown performance 2 weeks ago against the Rushmore Knights, but 2 today have seen him lock up that meat hamper. And talking about being locked up there, nice tackle by the Aztecs to bring up second down.
Yeah, and yeah, just seeing Sam East there again, I don't think there'll be any arguments. I don't think anybody will at us unless it's the players themselves that wanted the hamper.
That's it. I can imagine there is some real conversations about who gets that hamper and who is deserving, but no doubt in our mind that Sam East deserves it today for his work on offense. And with that,
this is the end of the game.
We have come to full time here in today's matchup. It's Bristol Aztecs 39. It's the Wembley Stallions 0. Bristol Aztecs moved to 7-0 on the season. The Wembley Stallions 1-4 on the season. They still have a number of games to play to finish off their Premiership season, but giving a really good account of themselves once again, but just too clinical in the end from the Bristol Aztecs, Craig.
Yeah, I think what you see here is the difference between a team at the peak and a team on the rise. You know, the only team outside of Wembley that have played the Aztecs this well are the Blitz, and the Wembley Stallions should hold their heads high because they've put up a performance that I'm sure at times really frustrated this Aztec team.
Absolutely. There were times in that first half, particularly in the first quarter, where the Aztecs were stopped in the running game. There were big sacks. I mean, Nathan Williams on his own, if there was a Meet VP for the Wembley Stallions, we could go for a second one. He'd probably be the second name on our list. He was a nightmare in the backfield for the Wembley Stallions all the way through, and they just couldn't get enough to click on offense to really put the Aztecs under pressure.
Yeah, on offense, they just, we saw it in the second half. They were capable of some smash-mouth football, of just putting their foot in the ground and running right at you. Unfortunately, it was too little too late, and the Aztecs were able to adjust because the Stallions probably tiring themselves out a little bit trying to chase a lead.
Absolutely. So let's remind ourselves on how we got to this point and how we got to 39-0 in the game. Early on, as the sun was shining over Shaftesbury Park, it was Ethan Gretzinger, the general, throwing it up to Sam East. Remember that backside post, because we're going to be showing it you in a couple of different iterations, and it was the first score of the day.
Yeah, Sam East, like I said earlier, just getting up, getting off the ground, meeting it at that high point. These Stallion defensive backs aren't to be messed with, so it just shows how well he played.
Into the second quarter we go, and it was East off to the races once more. The swing pass in the backfield, and he turned that into yardage and points.
Yeah, you see him in the motion here. A crucial block downfield by Quinton Wimmer, making the job that much easier for Sam East, not even needing to show off the burners he's got.
So 2 touchdowns early doors for Sam East, and then Josh Brees was just doing Josh Brees things. A handoff going towards the right-hand side ended up being cut all the way back to the left-hand side, keeping Wembley defenders guessing as to which way he was going, and strolled into the end zone.
Yeah, it's not an Aztec game unless you're saying Josh Brees scored a touchdown, and there it was.
And then over the top into the end zone went Chris Green. He was able to orchestrate and organize a number of young people to play flag. Was also able to orchestrate a touchdown here in the second quarter.
Yeah, Ethan Gretzinger was looking for him a few times, able to find him there shortly before the end of the half. And Chris Green celebrating his 4th touchdown of the year.
And then after that, the Aztecs weren't done. You might think this is Groundhog Day. It's not. It's Gretzinger to East on the post. And then as Sam East ran past the post, that was his 3rd touchdown of the day.
Yeah, East, East, East 3 times, making it look Easty as he scores again.
That's awful.
That one was bad.
That's your worst one of the day, Craig. And I'm here
it took till the end. It took till the end.
I love it. That was his 3rd touchdown, and then Gretzinger found the birthday boy, Quinton Wimmer, on the quick screen, who stumbled and bumbled and dived into the end zone for the touchdown.
Yeah, Quinton Wimmer, he is a big lad, using every inch of that frame to get into the end zone. Will Roman nearly making a crucial tackle. Unfortunately for him, Quinton Wimmer still scoring.
That got the birthday boy a touchdown, and then after that it was running clock. And after that, we really didn't see too much else from either team. The Aztecs tried to keep things moving with their no-huddle offense. The Wembley Stallions went through their army of quarterbacks to try and find that spark and that click, but to no avail. And it ran out as a very comfortable victory for the Bristol Aztecs. They will move on to their final home game of the season. That's going to be against the Cambridgeshire Cats here at Shaftesbury Park. That's going to be in 2 weeks on Sunday, August the 2nd. 4 o'clock kickoff here at Shaftesbury Park. So it's going to be a really interesting game there, because the one thing to remember, a lot of the Cambridgeshire players weren't there in that first game. It was Independence Day weekend. A lot of their Americans were actually over in Spain having a celebration, and walking away from that game, we didn't really feel like it was a true reflection of the Cambridgeshire Cats. So going to be really interesting to see how they come to play in that final game.
Yeah, a lot of the Cambridgeshire Cats talking online, saying that wasn't a real victory because we weren't there. So it'll be interesting to see how the Cambridgeshire Cats at full capabilities can step into Shaftesbury Park, a place that the Aztecs have called home, a place that they have defended mightily, to see what the Cambridgeshire Cats are capable of. Going to be a good game, and hopefully we have a big crowd for that one.
Yeah, if there's one thing the Cambridgeshire Cats are going to want to do is put a blot in the copybook for the Bristol Aztecs and ruin their undefeated season. We know that the Aztecs have been able to get that #1 seed, but they would love nothing more than to make it a 7-1 season instead of an 8-0.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And for the Aztecs, they're not going to want to go into the playoffs on a loss. So this is going to be two teams looking to give it their all. I think fiery might be a good choice of words for that game. I think it'll be intense and it'll be good fun, and we hope to see you all there.
So we talk about seeds and we talk about playoffs. I'm going to use a phrase from one of my heroes of American football commentary, Mike Carlson. If the playoffs were going to start today, and then this is what it would be looking like. On one side of the draw, the Bristol Aztecs would be hosting the Coventry Phoenix here on the 23rd of August. And then in the north, the Kings of the North, currently the Manchester Titans, would host the London Blitz. So two very tasty semi-finals as it stands.
Yeah, and just to be clear, the playoffs do not start today, but they're going to start very soon. Both these games look like absolute screamers.
And this is the thing, we were talking in pre-game, in our pre-production meeting, and sometimes you never quite know how the North is playing in comparison to the South. The Blitz could go up and pull off an upset against the Titans, and the Phoenix could come here and really show out as well. So everything to play for as we get into the playoffs. Now I can see down there on the side, on the field, there is a very excited player who's just realized that £50 worth of meat hamper is coming his way. So Katie, we're going to send it down to you on the field. Go talk to Sam East.
I am here with Meet VP Sam East. Sam, you had an absolute killer of a game today. 3 touchdowns. Talk me through that game for you.
You know, we just out here competing. Kind of just do what we practice and then execute on game days. You know, my teammate was able to handle things so then I could shine. So thank you to them. Thank you to the coaches.
It seems like, I feel like you've really come into your own throughout this season. Would you say that that's true?
Yeah, you know, I kind of had to get my feet wet, get my feet under me with the team and everything, but you know, they welcomed me in with open arms, and they made it pretty easy to switch from, you know, America to here.
And how much have that team supported you?
It's kind of what's keeping me going, you know, keeping me coming to practice and showing up for the games and being excited. I play for them, and I know they play for me, so it all works out pretty well.
And you had touchdowns, of course, as well in the game against the Cambridgeshire Cats. There's more to come from you, right?
Oh, for sure. You know, when my number called, I'm going to make something happen, you know, put on for Bristol, try and go get a championship, for sure.
And we have the Cambridgeshire Cats coming to Shaftesbury Park very soon, on the 2nd of August. How are you feeling about that going into that matchup, knowing you've already played them, you've already got some familiarity there?
It'll be exciting, really, because we have played them before, and I know they're waiting to get back at us. So I'm just ready to turn up one more time with the team and show them why we run Bristol, for real, why we run the UK, honestly.
Sam, congratulations. Enjoy your £50 butcher's meat basket as well. You've absolutely earned it. Enjoy the rest of your day. Thanks for your time.
Are you a vegetarian? I'll take the meat box.
We have some joking on the field right now. So Sam is a vegetarian and Pete wants it instead. Is that true?
Yes, apparently so. That's what I heard.
We'll see. We'll see what happens. Pete, Aztecs head coach, congratulations on yet another win and a 0 on the scoreboard as well. How does it feel?
Yeah, really good. You know, beating someone 39-0, yeah, 39. Beating someone 39-0, you know, always feels kind of a lot better than beating someone 56-7 or whatever, you know, 46-7. So yeah, good to keep them out. Obviously, they were driving the ball a little bit at the end there. We picked up a couple of injuries, which is really unfortunate, but we've been pretty fortunate injury-wise, like thus far this season. And you're always going to pick some up. It's just like the nature of the sport. But yeah, it was a decent game. Like, they were competitive for like big chunks of the game. You know, first quarter they frustrated us a bit, and they kind of got back into it again a little bit in the second half. But yeah, a decent game, I think, you know.
It definitely was. Now, you had Ethan Gretzinger available to you as quarterback to start with. He wasn't available on the May game against the Stallions before. How much did that open up what you could do today?
Yeah, it definitely does. You know, and I think that this is not just the case with us, it's the case with like every team, yeah? When you've got your starting queue, you can kind of do everything because things are kind of structured around them a little bit and you've built the playbook, you know, with their kind of skill set in mind. And it's always difficult when you're in the sort of situation Lewis Benzie is, where the playbook's not been built for you, it's kind of been built for someone else, and then you've got to come in and execute it. So that's always difficult. But yeah, it's having Ethan around, you know, his leadership, his quality, it's all really important, and it means we can do everything we need to do, you know.
Now, I wanted to talk to you about Sam East before I even heard in my ears that he'd been chosen as the Meet VP this week. How much has his performance, I was talking to him earlier, but it seems like he's really come into his own throughout this season. Would you say what's been your experience of him as a player?
He definitely has come into his own, and he's just got more and more comfortable. You know, some of the American scholars, you know, Quinton and Ethan, they were kind of planning to play all summer. Sam was kind of someone who decided a little bit late, and I think he was kind of, you know, to start with, he was just kind of feeling his way into it a little bit. Now he's really comfortable, he's really confident, but he's also one of those kind of interesting athletes. Like, you know, Josh Brees is like on the field, off the field, loads of energy. Like, he plays with loads of energy and loads of movement. Sam is like so laid back. You probably got that from the interview. Like, even when he's running full speed down the sideline, he kind of looks like he's not trying, but he's like running past people. So he's one of those kind of interesting characters, and people will be like, oh, you know, just got the ability, hasn't he? Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know how hard he kind of how much time he spends running, but he's really fast. Do you know what I mean? And he kind of makes it look easy, you know.
Definitely, and I think that's part of the magic, right? And when you have a player like that, it's hard to take your eyes off them when they are on it.
Yeah, and he's not, you know, his game isn't built around like physicality. You know, Quinton and Brees, you know, they get in the defensive backfield, they're running people over. Sam's kind of like weaving, and he's almost like doing a dance with the ball, isn't he? Like, and Ian interested in taking contact. He's just interested in getting all the yards available, and that kind of shows up when he's getting, like, you know, it feels like he's getting 3 touchdowns every week at the moment, you know.
Definitely, he's so entertaining to watch. Yeah. Pete, thank you for your time. Congratulations.
Thanks a lot, appreciate it, Katie. Thank you.
Now let's have a chat with Warren from the Stallions. Warren, it's always going to be a challenge, isn't it? You know, when you have an away fixture. But it was clear that the film had been studied, particularly in that first half. You really put the defense for the Aztecs through their paces. Talk to me about that.
It's kind of a cliche, but you know, we play football. We study football. We try to do the right things. I've got my staff are amazing. They put so much time and effort into it. We break down the film. We teach it to the guys. You know, you can probably hear our DC shouting on the field, and he's normally shouting, "Why don't you do what I tell you?" And so it's all of that stuff. So yeah, we're not unhappy with the day. That's all I can say. Yeah.
That's great. I spoke to Chris Green from our offense team for the Aztecs during the third, and he was saying that the D-line were performing stunts, twists. Is that something that's been a focus in your training?
All of it. You know, you can't just play a 3 or a 4-man front and just live in that, because the offensive line will learn about what you're doing. You've got to change it up. You've got to make it change. So that means you've got to teach the guys to do it. So they learn all about that. They learn about different alignments. They learn about stunts. So do the linebackers. So do the secondary. So it works well. It works well.
Definitely does. Now, the next game, London Blitz for you at home. How are you feeling about that?
Oh, we're going to win that one without any shadow of a doubt. We feel like we're competitive. We were competitive here. I mean, the fact that the Aztecs are that level above us, well, we're not ignoring that. We're not pretending it's not there. But we do play good football, and we're going to now watch the Blitz. The thing is, we've got them back to back. We've got them home, then away. So we can just settle all our concentration on, okay, that's what we've got to do. How do we win both those games?
Thank you very much for your time, Warren. Thank you.
Great job you're doing down here. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Andrew, Craig, come and join me. Now, I always feel blown away by Sammy's performance when he just gets that ball and he just makes the most amazing runs. And it did seem like it was a bit of a no-brainer decision. Talk to me about that, Craig.
I mean, you said it best. Yeah, it was a no-brainer. From that first touchdown, he really set the tone for what the Aztecs were trying to do. It felt like a tough game for the Aztecs. The Wembley Stallions, you know, they showed they belong in the Premiership, and Sammy showed why he belongs to be part of this Aztecs team. And just scoring those 3 touchdowns, just, yeah, easy decision for the meet VP from our point of view.
I totally agree. And when I was talking to him earlier, I was saying there's got to be more to come, right? There's got to be more to come from you. You're a player who's really come into their own throughout this season. And we're all just excited to watch, right?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, there's so many players on this Aztec team that are exciting to watch. And there were some players that we didn't get to call out as much as you might have done in previous weeks, you know. And that just shows the talent that this Aztec team have. Heading into the playoffs, obviously one more game that they're going to all be focused on before it gets to the playoffs. But this is the meat of the season, if we're going with that, you know, way of wording it. So they need to be showing out. They need to be showing more. And Sammy certainly did that today.
He absolutely did. We had another Josh Brees touchdown, really. And what was lovely about, I was sat over at the sidelines on that side of the field. His family were in the crowd today, and they were loud. Another game, another touchdown, right?
Another game, another touchdown, and it was absolutely ridiculous. He starts it out on the right-hand side and then decides, I don't want to score over there, I want to score over there instead. Makes 3 guys miss, and you're just like, yeah, that's what Josh Brees does. And it's almost like we've gotten used to it in the stream and on the calls, but it's just a phenomenal athletic performance that he puts in time and again. Massive runs when it's needed the most as well, so it's really fun to watch him this season.
It definitely is. Now, there were some defensive injuries, unfortunately, today. How much of a problem do you think losing some of those players will pose to Wilf's defensive team?
I think he's shown in the last few weeks that he's not afraid to take players from the offensive side of the ball. Rashid Sakiro-Gaima has come over on defensive line. Harry Buckland's been switching between cornerback and wide receiver as well. So they've got such a squad of players and a lot of experience and a lot of talent. There's always answers and options for James Wilford and the coaching staff, and one part of that as well is definitely about what they do in practice, putting those players in positions to succeed, giving them really specific roles. That's something that Wilf will do really well.
He absolutely will, and we had some award winners in the coaching staff for the Aztecs as well. Award-winning coaches, it really does elevate the whole game, doesn't it, for the whole league, don't you think?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, like, the coaches put in so much time and so much effort that you don't necessarily see all the time. Like, obviously you see them on the field, you know they're doing practice, but they're making calls, they're thinking of schemes, they're doing all these different things. And to have, I think you've got both scales of it there, right? You had Pete Jones winning the coach's coach, essentially, and then you've got Rian winning that, like, beginner, that newbie, that introduction, and it just shows that the Aztecs take so much pride in every aspect of the game, on the field and off the field.
They definitely do, and we cannot wait to be back with you on the 2nd of August. Kickoff is 4 p.m. as the Aztecs take on even the Cambridgeshire Cats. From me, Andrew and Craig, thank you so much for joining us, and we look forward to seeing you then. Bye.